with an offer, a question, and a possible offer.
Yeah, we ended it with a couple different things. So, in this last session, we began with you guys leaving Advar's happy party place, in which you guys made your way to the street of Sayla, going up to the north central side of the city, to where you guys paroled around the Embassy of the Hells. Finding this quite obtruse, blood-stained, and ugly building that was very large, that the largest street in the city literally parts ways for.
Did you say chartreuse?
Obtuse.
You said obtruse.
Obtruse, yeah.
Okay.
It's
Never mind.
Whoa.
Keep on going.
I'm so
Obtruse?
obtruse.
Truce.
You don't have to look it up.
Chartreuse.
I don't
I
know what
looked
that
up a
means.
lot of the shit you say, not gonna lie.
Yeah, and how often is it what I said it was going to be?
Like maybe 30% of the time.
Fair.
It's
If
a
I'm
real
honest.
word. It's a real word, and it kind of fits, but you're like,
Now,
Okay.
sometimes
We're
it's
gonna-
like, this isn't a word.
No, obtruse is the correct word.
That's obtuse, my dude. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's obtuse.
Sorry, obtruse. AB. Sorry.
Connected.
Okay, connected.
yeah.
And that's on derailing. You're
There we go.
welcome.
Difficult to understand and obscure.
Yeah, sorry, my friend.
Nah, this ain't the right.
Arcane.
That was me.
With a similar obscure, arcane.
Difficult to
esoteric,
understand,
little known.
obscure.
Obtruse works.
It also says arcane.
Use it in a sentence again.
It was a very arcane building.
An obtruse, bloodied building.
Yep.
A difficult to understand building.
Yes, the
Yeah.
building is difficult to understand.
It is.
I
And
would say
Go every
so.
which way, so yeah.
yeah,
I
exactly.
mean,
works.
yeah.
And
It's like a
after
fractal.
spending some time in the city square of Stela, of which the embassy is set around. Okay, I thought I was cutting out. I was like, what are you doing?
It's the mic drop.
Yeah. So, from there, hearing the flutter of wings, pointed out, I believe, by Trake, the party looks over and sees a blue dragonborn-esque creature dropping from the building. What? What are you sniggering about?
This is the. I'm not sick. This is Narnia. That's all.
Okay, yes it is. It's
love it.
2 steps to hell.
Yep. From him.
2 steps from hell.
No, we're in it.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Which is why we're.
Well, no, you guys are 2 steps from hell. You're not there yet. You're pretty dang close, though. So, in that, you guys
Turns it down.
began to follow Ketharak into the arches, upon which he made a short pit stop at a place called the Radiant Children, which appeared to be a shop specifically for the procuring and selling of Azamar children as slaves, upon which he bought 3 or 4, apparently for a party in the embassy that evening. He arranged pickup for later in the day, and then made his way further into the arches, where you guys spent 30 minutes deciding how you were going to attempt to get a piece of his body.
Yep.
Sounds a little sus when you
Or
really
a
think about it.
piece of that ass.
Yeah, they wanted a big piece of that ass. Ending up deciding on having Octavia dive bomb him, cast Fog Cloud as she scrapes the back of his neck and gets some of his hair, and then proceed to run away.
Yeah. And Trek tried to follow him.
And
I
Drake
followed him.
followed him in the form of a Hellbat. I'm continuing to follow him until he seemed to end his trail at a coffee shop, upon which Kelazar turned around, locked eyes with him, and waved, and as Drake began to fly away, began speaking to him mentally, almost prodding him for running away. At that point, he went inside, and Drake then watched 4 Afriti step into this place, and from there, Drake ran back to the party as quick as possible. You guys ran to the nearest brothel you could find, rented a room, and began to cast Scry on Kelazar. Now, both Trake and Warden cast it with a -10 to Kelazar's roll. Warden did succeed. Trake, however, was blocked by Kelazar's mental capacities. And from there, he watched a meeting of the Ring of Smoldering Chains. Not knowing exactly where, it is still on this plane of existence, you know, or else scrying would not work. However, it is an awkward situation, as it was definitely not the back of a coffee shop. However, after going through the meeting, it appears that today is a very big day for the Ring of Smoldering Chains, as a very large shipment of Cladian beast folk, is what they call them. You do not know what that is, are arriving in, and they spoke primarily of where each other were going to be for this late morning and afternoon, in hopes to hurry along these slaves to the markets that they're being sold into. With Passat and Kirut going down to the harbor to manage the loading and organization of the slaves. And specifically, Asat, Nari's father, going back to Hasserine Estates to finish readying the carts and begin making their way down to the harbor. However, as soon as that was done, Warden got a little bit of an invite to a little shop on the southern side of the Plume. He said marked by the orange brazier in front of the building, and was a little creepy, as he generally likes to be. However, as soon as scrying was casted, Nari and Nibs dipped. Deuces. Making their way to Hasserine Estates, upon which they attempted to enter the building, or the compound as a whole, should I say, and were spotted by, let me pull all this up, were spotted by Harkek Singehelm, who was a fire genasi who seems to be managing the early stages of loading the carts onto the fiery horses upon which they are driven by. A short discussion was had, and the session ended with another character that Nari knows, a woman named Andreas, stepping out, seemingly taking over the situation. So, Nari and Nibs, as you guys are in this courtyard of this molten, barren, just flat ground, you guys look out, and again, this human woman, dark hair, brown eyes, steps out, and without even saying anything, immediately Harkek goes quiet and almost bows to her, just a minor courtesy, and steps off to the side as she comes up. Excuse me, would you happen to have a pass to be here?
No, you're still freaking out.
I'm
I think-
trying to.
A little bit. And one
have
thing
an
I
idea.
recognized, I will allow you to roll another wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Because at this point, you should have had advantage
Okay.
due to the hero's feast. And we did not recognize that last session.
Okay, so this is.
So you can re-roll that last save with advantage.
Okay. I'm glad I had advantage. So 17.
17. So 17, you're stout. You're able to maintain your face. You kind of waver for but a moment and then kind of come back, almost due to your hatred of this woman.
Okay.
Andreas continues.
So she asks. So Nibs will kind of smile and take a little bow to her, still standing on her shoulder. Well, does his he's a monk.
A little courtesy.
A little courtesy. He's like, my dear lady, he goes, as we were just discussing with, and I don't remember his name. Sorry.
Harkek.
Harkek. He goes, we're new to the city. We hired for a very short amount of time, and we figured the best way to find out what is required to get an answer would be to come and ask someone here, since we don't honestly know what is and what is not. And as we stepped in, we were immediately told that we needed a pass. He goes, therefore, we now know that. And he goes, so
How may
we
go
have
about-
achieved our first goal. We found out we need a pass. Now, he goes, but what brought us here was to inquire about as two former slaves who have, through acts of generosity and lots of hard work, have earned, and he is not in his Irish accent.
Yeah.
It's like, have earned our freedom. We were inquiring about the nature of someone who once was a slave here. He goes, and if they were possibly for sale or had been sold or had passed.
What would be your names, perchance?
So he will then again take a nice bow and go, Nikolai Freudenstein is mine. He goes, but many call me Nibs. Just kind of shrugs his shoulders and he goes,
I go by Nari.
She pulls out a tablet. You notice this familiar tablet, as this is what the Afriti at the gate had. And she spends, 15 seconds looking things out. We would be most intrigued to have you. Follow me. And she turns around and heads into the manor.
Nibs is gonna slide down to a sitting position on your shoulder and
I'm
then
a
say,
follower.
and as he does, he's going to just real mildly say under his breath, "Courage, Jimber. Focus on the flame. On your goal."
Now,
Which
Nari.
Nibs has no clue what your goal is, but he's assuming you do. Because you didn't tell him, but he's got your back.
In this moment, you hear Warden.
Okay.
Throughout that whole conversation, Warden
was
info dumping on top of that.
Yeah.
Hey, and your dad's coming back.
Yeah, that was the last kind of bit I was
Oh
saying.
shit! I forgot that. You're coming back to the estate.
You
right?
have about 15 to 20 minutes from this moment until Asat is likely back in Hasserine Estates. So if you are attempting to avoid that, you must be swift.
Yeah, I'm trying to avoid that.
And so Andreas steps in and sits down at the table. It is curious. Oftentimes, slaves do not return to places where they have been in captivity in the past. If I may ask, what is your interest? I mean, you said there was another person you were coming back to look on the whereabouts of. What would be the name of that person?
I believe her name was Aurora, though it's been many years since we last saw each other.
Aurora. Cycles through. Would there happen to be a last name?
Not that I'm aware of.
That is a fairly common name for a Fire Genasi.
I believe she was not a Genasi. I believe she was an elf.
An elf. I apologize. And she cycles through. And what exactly are your questions about this Aurora?
Well, first off, if she's still alive, we were curious if she was sold or freed or was still a slave here. As freed slaves ourselves, we would like to, if possible, figure out a way to free her.
Alright, well, I would have to do some research into figuring out where exactly she is. At this point, it seems to have said that she spent time in, she spent some time in the Long Castle for transgressions of apparently selling off another slave without permission, among other things. And if you will give me a few minutes, I could possibly go back and research it.
Would we actually be able to stop by again tomorrow or get a pass to meet again?
I promise it will take no more than about a few minutes.
Nibs will just pat you on the shoulder. Now, are we right inside the entry, or did we step into
You guys have kind of like stepped into not necessarily a dining room, but a living room.
just a little?
a little
goes,
set off to the side.
Thank
Is
you.
there,
He goes.
is
He
there
goes.
windows to see the front of the estates?
Yeah, there are some
And
entrances.
Nibs is just gonna kind of reach down and kind of just squeeze your shoulder, just give you a squeeze. And it's like, if you would, that would be very, very kind of you and very considerate. Since we did not have a pass or an appointment, thank you so much for taking this time.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
And she's gonna step off to the side, and she's gone for a couple minutes.
And
Where are we at time-wise?
Well, that conversation we just had was, a minute or two.
Okay.
You guys were a minute or two into from what Warden gave you.
Okay.
yeah,
And so at this
Nibs-
point, you're
Nibs-
sitting
Got, like,
6,
maybe 10
7,
minutes.
8 minutes since you kind of got info from Warden, and she's still not back.
Dang.
Nibs is gonna look at you and very quietly say, "Whoever you're afraid of, they won't know you. Don't give yourself away." You go. He's like,
Our lives would both be on the
No, that's metagaming. I won't say anything.
no, that's Nibs will look at you and go, "You are a slave. Slaves have no value. We are no different than the sands on a beach or the wood that is burnt in the fire. They do not pay attention to them. We mean nothing to them, and that is the beauty and the strength of their arrogance. Stand firm. It's worse to panic now than to see this through."
Mary's just gonna kind of nod, but not really say anything. She is gonna be still kind of anxiously looking out the windows, trying to appear calm.
Yeah. Are you going to communicate back to the rest of the group? Because he doesn't have a stone, so that's
So,
your.
Yeah,
Let's
prerogative.
see.
I don't have a clue, and we really can't give much away.
Yeah. So what exactly was it? All that had been relayed.
Big
Yeah,
shit
just
going
that-
down. We got invited to a party. Did we want to kill
Well,
a bunch
Warden
of
was
people?
invited
You will.
to
Yeah.
the party, right?
No.
Or Trek was, or whatever.
Warden and Trek, but
Well, kind of everyone, but it was just, why do you people have such an interest in me?
Mhm.
If you want to meet up, we can meet up here. He only knows for certain of 2,
Mhm.
but that doesn't mean he doesn't
And we
assume that.
probably should keep it like that.
we should probably have the whole party at least within close
Close
proximity.
proximity.
He's gonna. This guy is at least as powerful
Yes.
as the mind reading guys in
Yeah.
the Blighted Lands. So, yeah.
I think Nari's just gonna mention that, just kind of quietly to Nibs that, our friends are arranging a meeting.
Well, that'll be interesting.
Agreed. Let's hope the next few minutes go well.
Another few minutes pass and she is still not returned. You're looking at about 10, maybe 12 minutes.
Nibs, we're gonna patch on it.
I'm gonna sit down.
Yeah, sit down in the place. He goes,
Are there any
can
magazines or something on the
Nibs, can
table?
Nibs look around, like do an insight check to see if this is a place where someone of importance would come through if they were doing other things, or is this more like for like lower level people, servants or
And
lower
are there
level-
other slaves that have been passing through already that could
No
be
one has
recognized?
passed through this area. You guys can both roll insights if you want. You want some dice?
Sure.
Take whatever dice you want.
That is a 14 on
14.
insight.
I insight nothing.
What did you roll?
3.
Okay.
I insight.
Wait,
So-
actually,
Violence.
yeah, no, it's, I incite violence.
So Nibs, with your insight, this is the home of Assad. And likely some other slaves, whether that be slaves that he uses as concubines, or just the household servants. You guys have not seen anyone come through here up to this point. It has just been Andreas who entered in with you guys. However, it is a very busy time outside, as at this point 20 of those horse trailers have been set up, and more are being pulled out by the minute.
This doesn't look like a room he would come in to do business in It's not his desk. It's not his office. This is a meet people kind of place, right?
Yes, this is kind of the public area.
Okay, so
It
we
is,
are.
if
off-
someone came in the front door, they would see down the hall if they continued on.
Yeah.
And they would see you guys. But
but it's not necessarily something. If he's in a hurry, he would. Chances are good he would not really pay attention unless his attention were drawn to us.
yeah.
As long as we don't give him reason.
Yeah. And I would say with a 14, another thing that Nibs notes is you don't think this should be taking this long. That's just Nibs' opinion on it.
Yeah,
He doesn't
but
think this should
I
be
am
taking
not
this
sharing that with Neri. This is fine. You know. Yeah, he's.
How far are we away from the door?
long. From the door, I mean, less than a round of combat. You guys are maybe 30, 40, 50 feet
But
away.
then we're 200.
But then you're
200,
another
300
150 feet to
Away
get out
from
the gate.
gate, yeah.
Nari?
Would I know of any hiding spots? Being that
For a
I was
child? Yes. For someone your size? No, you could hide Nibs.
Okay.
But,
Where could I hide Nibs if I felt necessary?
Go ahead and roll me a luck.
That is a nat one, my friend.
Now you don't remember shit.
It's been 20 up all week long.
Yeah,
Did you store it
Nari
upside down in the box?
with
Damn. Yeah, that's the problem.
Oh, you had it on a nat 20, but you had it flipped upside down.
No. It's been like this all week, and that's a 2 and a 4. A 10. An 8.
so
Shit.
Nari. With your low insight roll, and with now her
No
not
luck.
being able to remember anything of hiding spots, Nari is very, very nervous and getting more nervous by the moment.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll me another insight.
Okay, 14.
14. You're realizing if anything goes down, your party is 7 minutes away. It is just you and Nibs on an island right now.
Okay.
Nibs is going to kind of look over at you as you're sitting, and he's kind of reading her. He's going to start singing a little child's song in Primordial about. Basically, it's not the Itsy Bitsy Spider,
Yeah.
but it's an equivalency of that. Just real softly singing it. Doesn't have a great voice, but it
You're not going to RP this for?
Doesn't Primordial just sound like something? Probably
It,
doesn't sound very
it
well.
sounds like I'm speaking the dark tongue in,
Yeah.
from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
But it's about it's a little song about a spider and a mouse, about it's just a child's song, and I don't know if you would know it, but it's just something to focus on. It has quite a bit of repetitive verses, like a kid's song where you sing along kind of thing, and it's just quiet. But that's what he's doing to try to help in any way he can settle you down.
I might, while he's doing that, just kind of think to Warden, or to everybody else, so, Nims and I took a little detour, and we might need some backup. Not sure yet. You guys would maybe head over to the Foundry area. Could I give, the nearest intersection?
Yeah,
or
you
whatever?
give them some descriptions. They're probably going to have to roll a survival check to see how well they can find it without your constant guidance. But
we'll just tell the guide.
yeah,
Yeah.
you guys can tell Petrus.
Yeah, ask Petrus if he's familiar with this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so many things to
Okay.
over.
And then I'm just gonna start kind of singing along the parts that I know. I don't know the whole song.
Yeah.
But just
You
So-
can
Like
kind
the
of
chorus,
the idea.
maybe.
As Nibs walks by, he's going to lay his hand on your knee and cast Long Stride. That'll give you an additional 10 feet of movement,
How long does that last?
1 hour.
She already has it. You cast it on her last session.
Oh, I did.
I think you did actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to put Bless on her.
A long strider is not concentration, correct?
It is not.
Bless only lasts a minute.
Oh, okay. Then
So you may wanna wait.
I will prepare for that.
Maybe not.
Yeah, I want to
Yeah.
wait.
Pick a different.
You only have so many spell slots.
Yeah,
You have a million
yeah.
first level spells, I know.
Well, yeah, I forgot it only lasts a minute. Sorry. I thought it was just concentration. I was like, I can think about this.
I can do that.
So, going from there, as you guys continue to wait for Andreas, Warden, Mikhail, Drake, what are you guys doing? As you have now kind of gotten this call, hey, maybe you want to come over to the foundry and just be close?
How much time do we have until our little?
It is about 1 in the afternoon, and you guys were told about 5 to 5:30.
So we have plenty of time.
No, hopefully.
Warden turns to Drake and Mikhail
And Dick.
kind of gives a nod.
Yes. That is a difference.
Turns to our guide and says, "What is the fastest route to Street Corner XYZ?"
In the foundry, we are about 5 or so minutes away. I could begin leading us there. What is our intent there? Or that's not at all his accent. What exactly is our intent there?
Our 2 other friends seem to have taken a detour and might need some assistance. You are not required to help in any way, given your contract. But
I can aid you there.
Let us move with haste.
All right. He kind of walks out and he tips the pimp as you guys walk out of the brothel, and he leads you guys down. It'll probably take you guys about 5 minutes to get there from this point.
Okay.
So, back to Nari and Nibs. As Andreas kind of steps back in, you see she actually has a folder with her, along with the tablet. And she kind of sits down at this little table that she's had you guys seated at, and sets the tablet down. So, some interesting things. Inrora is still alive and around, one could say. However, Asat generally keeps his concubines hidden away, so I do not know of her exact locations. However, I am certain that Asat would be interested in communicating with his daughter.
Nibs is gonna stop and just kind of cock his head and look at you, and look at you for a minute, look back up at her, look back at him, and goes, just real quick, give a figure, turn to you and go, when I said they don't recognize the little people, I didn't know you were his fucking daughter. And he's gonna look back at her and go, pardon the language, what the? And then he's just gonna lose his shit for a minute. I mean, he's literally, and he's gonna go. Yeah, after he's just as many ways he can explicate his shock.
Explanation.
Expound on expletives of his shock. He'll then, and his accent is going to go the gambit from proper British, Irish to German to. He's just gonna
All
go.
the,
He's gonna go
things.
all the above in every. And he's gonna stop. Pat you on the leg. His shoulders are gonna sag. He's gonna turn over and look at her and go, one question, if I may.
Ask away.
He goes, did all the money we paid the guards fix her status as a freed slave, not a runaway? And he's gonna lean over. I don't think she was a runaway, but they said she was a runaway and had left
Nari's
illegally.
gonna look really confused at the idea of runaway because, like, she doesn't know because she isn't
No,
technically old.
yeah. She goes, which we
She
know
was
she.
aware at that age, at least.
Yeah. He's like, she wasn't. He goes, but the guard shook us down at the gate for some quite a bit of platinum.
You see Andrea actively kind of giggle to herself.
And he's gonna go,
Well,
I'm sorry.
Officially, under the rule of the Illuminati, Nari is now known as freed. And since she has been gone so long, there is statutes of limitations. And Rora took the punishment for both of them when she sold her daughter out.
Nari's gonna kind of go white a little bit, or whatever pale red looks like. I guess. Pale orange.
She goes maroon.
No,
You turn yellow.
I turn yellow. Yeah. Whatever the pale version of that is. A little bit, and I kind of like straighten up and
He's gonna.
just be like,
Nip. Nips is just gonna like. You start to open your mouth. He's just like nip. He's gonna breathe hard for a second. And go. Please continue. We're listening.
Spending a few years in the Long Castle was punishment enough in the eyes of Asat. He has many bastards, so losing one means nothing. So, by all rights and purposes, you are still free, Nari. And I remember you. You were a brat.
Still is,
I mean,
but that's part of a charm.
The
I'm gonna
cold
mumble under
never
my breath.
changed.
I'm gonna mumble under my. I mean, I really am his daughter.
Nibs is gonna kind of blink for me and goes, as a freed bastard, what obligations are expected or can be required legally of her?
That is an intriguing line to go down, upon which I would have to do some research. The regulations upon the city of Brass are extensive, and I am obviously not from here, so I have not been raised in it. However, as far as I know in this case, nothing is owed from her to Asat. However, I believe he's coming home soon, and I would have to insist that you stick around.
Nibs is gonna kind of cock his head and go, besides our friends having a meeting, and then he's just gonna trail off and look at you and then look back at her and go, he's going to arrive soon, I hear. It's very, very soon. And look back over at you.
It's like, why didn't you say anything?
You could just see it in his eyes as he takes another breath.
She
Breathes
probably
out.
has this like guilty look.
Well, and he goes, does the master of the house have any interest in rare artifacts from other planes?
Who doesn't?
Nari's gonna like.
Don't give him the laser pistol.
Nari's gonna like look over him and just like start nodding her head like.
It's like he goes.
You could show it off though.
He's
Warden will be upset.
like he's just gonna blink and go, well, that's good to know. And he's gonna look at you and go and think very hard. I'm all out of money. I'm out of platinum. I'm out of this. This might end badly. You know, he's
I'm not very happy.
he's not happy, but he knew this wasn't going to go well. But he's gonna just
He didn't
kind
think it was gonna go this bad. I guess.
so I'm just going to walk over, climb up on the little sofa next to you, turn around, sit down, adjust my clothes, sigh heavily, and goes, I guess we'll be waiting his return. As I look up at
Would
it,
he even wish to speak with me?
That is for him to decide, not me. I am merely the patron of the household while he is not around.
Well, clearly she.
Would
This-
it be possible to even give my mother a message?
That would be a question for Asad.
I see. Very well then, we wait for Asat.
Roll me a wisdom saving throw. It is at advantage. You still have your SVs.
19.
19? Okay. the panic starts to well up in your chest, and you feel your heart rate skyrocket at the thought of meeting your father here soon. You're able to kind of calm yourself down and focus on that ember. But holy shit, your heart is... but holy shit, your heart is beating very fast still. I would say...
Nibs is kind of look up at you and then look over at her. Go, pardon me, one more question if I may. This might be a bit presumptuous, but are you aware of any time that the master of the house has relinquished one of his concubines for a price or sold them if they have displeased him or after a length of time?
Well, there certainly have been disappearances and lack of registration signings and censuses in the past. I cannot necessarily describe exactly what those have entailed.
Nibs is gonna just go, thank you, that is answer enough. And I'm gonna be like, Nibs is like, well, shit. When he gets mad, he kills them. But he won't sell them. Is what he's thinking loudly. But too bad neither of us can read each other's thoughts.
Yeah.
Actually, I could read your thoughts.
Which I might think about doing.
Well...
Hey, Nate.
I'm gonna...
High or low?
Low.
Alright. So, you guys arrive at Hasserin Estates outside the front gate. Peering in, what you three see along with Petrus is at this point about 24 iron carts, about 40 foot long, 12 feet wide, set with a trio of like flaming horses in front of them that have 8 legs. Yes, Warden.
When she said call for backup, we're not intending to like just walk right in.
No,
there,
I
are
said
we?
that you may want to be nearby.
That's
in case it goes.
I mean,
down.
yeah, we could peer in and kind of get a survey of the area. I'll run a threat analysis real quick. I know it's verbal, but it's automated.
I might actually say.
So if anyone asks, I'll just say that is an automated process. It's like
So, do you guys alert them that you have arrived?
I will alert of our location via description.
I'm gonna say, cool. I think we're about to meet my dad, and Nibs is about to blow
him?
blow his brains. And Nibs is about to
Blow his top.
explode. So maybe, yeah, maybe. Nari's just gonna like trail off there because she's still really nervous about meeting her
I'm just
dad.
trying to think about what it would look like for Nibs to blow a 23-foot tall fire.
He's probably about the same size as it.
Yeah, that's my thought. He just
Moving on.
wraps. Okay, we'll move on now.
It's like
I
how many
don't
licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? 4,700.
Yep.
No, don't make me go there. Keep it out of my mind. Stop.
No.
Anyways, I'm basically gonna convey that I'm pretty sure Nibs is really mad at me.
Okay.
I'm
So
about to blow
with
a fuse, that's what I'm trying to say. Blow a fuse. Thank you.
With
For-
that
Have an
information,
aneurysm. We'll just go with it.
what are the three of you looking to do? Are you in holding positions across the street outside the gate? What are your guys' plans?
What does the immediate vicinity look like? Like,
Go ahead and roll perception.
what all
Warden
is
and
there?
Trake, if you guys
like,
want to roll perceptions as well.
I'm looking specifically for like what kind of buildings or like restaurants
Eight.
or shops,
9. Okay.
stuff like that.
What is my perception bonus? Is it +8? Right.
It's a plus high.
What are people doing in the immediate
27?
area?
27.
I
I got a 27
He
also.
perceives the air.
I've already done that. I did that last session already.
So the pair of you guys, Trake, you're distracted by fiery butterflies. The rest of
Fiery horses you wanted a pet.
Yeah, you're like itching to run in there and jump on a horse.
Oh my gosh!
Please don't.
Please keep him out of the way. Oh my gosh! That's the last thing we need.
I do have
the
a
other
grappling
two of
hook,
you,
and I'm not afraid to use
you
it.
guys notice the obvious of what I've already said: the Azers and some other humanoid creatures prepping the carts. Around the area and across the street directly from Hasserine Estates, there is what appears to be some kind of cafe. It does have outdoor seating. There seem to be a couple of Friti families and such there eating as of now. Other places down the road, there seems to be a kind of like general stores shop, along with what kind of appears to be that of a tavern. However, there is a flame embroidery on its door that says a Friti only.
Burning pricks.
I'm gonna go to the cafe.
Okay.
And get a little snacky snack.
Gonna get a little snacky snack.
Yeah.
Alright, getting a snacky snack. Go ahead and just remove a couple silver. And Warden Trake, do you guys join him?
What are you doing?
He
Get
went to a
little snacky
cafe.
snack.
Went to the cafe that sits outside. There's a little open cafe.
There's a cafe just across
Is
the
this-
street from the estate.
Sure. Why not?
Okay, so Mikhail, with a little bit more enthusiasm, moves over towards the cafe, and Warden, you're still doing your scan. And as you begin to move over, peering back one more time, you see a cart. A large cart. With flaming wheels and a massive, like, bull-esque creature pulling down the street.
Quick question: is the housekeeper, head of the house, still there, or has she left?
She is still with you guys.
Would Nibs think that she speaks primordial? Like, should I like? Would I?
You would not be able to tell. She is a human, not a genie of any kind. So that would generally make you to think no.
But she hangs out with primordial.
But she hangs out with primordials all the time.
Do you
Is
speak
she
any
waiting
other
there
languages?
for Asat to arrive, or is she like gonna
She
go?
is waiting with you guys.
Oh, that's fine.
I can't remember what other languages do you speak?
Me? Just primordial. And common.
So
Are we just sitting there in silence?
Yes.
Nibs is going
I
to
would-
go ahead.
Like to cast detect thoughts on Nibs because I know he's really mad at me, and
Okay.
I'm wondering just how badly he's gonna ring me out later.
So as you cast Detect Thoughts, one thing you notice, she has no thoughts. Andreas actively has no thoughts in her mind.
Alright, do I have to do a defense?
Do you want to? Well, the thing is, surface layer. What's your surface layer thoughts?
So, her surface layer thoughts are breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. I really hope she's gonna use that spell on me. I wonder if she'll give me a sign when she's reading my mind. Breathe in, breathe out. I really hope.
I'm
that-
gonna kind of look over him like and probe.
Probe. Okay, you can choose to fail the saving throw.
Okay, so what you're going to catch is... Isn't this fucker like 20-some feet tall? He must have a dick the size of a pencil if he got it in an elf. And he's gonna look over at you, see if he gets a reaction. Is there a reaction?
Nari's gonna be like,
And he's like, finally, okay.
Okay, Warden, yeah. Question? Very
Upon
disturbed by that idea.
seeing the flaming cart and looking at its projected direction, obviously I can more than likely deduce that is our friend that we are, well, she is waiting for. I know that we speak in the Rocky Talkies through mind, but would I be able to hear through her mind message to me that she is not mentally like
I'm not well.
mentally.
I mean, you
exactly
already knew
prepared.
that she wasn't mentally
I already
well.
knew, but like, will I be able to gauge on a scale from 1 to 10 just how bad I sensed that it was over the
You would
walkie-talkie?
guess that it's a 5 or higher.
Okay. Warden, seeing as that he's
Your mental state.
On a scale
Negative.
of 1 to 10.
Warden is before crossing the street, because I'm assuming it's going to be the cart's going to be moving in front of me.
It
on this
would-
street.
So you guys, the way it is coming, it's coming here, and it's going to turn left into it, and you guys are past the turn. at a
Okay,
cafe.
so it's kind of coming in this direction,
Yeah.
but I'm going to pause before I cross the street and follow those two who are willy-nilly walking over to the cafe. I am going to cast divination.
Okay, what is your question?
I am just going to whisper under my breath. I mean, it's just like a question to myself. No one's going to question. Nari is about to meet her father. How much danger is at present
Okay, I'm reading through the spell.
for her?
So, while you're reading through that, Nari, after that comment, he gets the reaction he wanted. He's gonna be, good, you're in here. Now, this is not as bad as it could be.
I'm gonna smirk, almost smirk a little bit at
Uh,
that.
He goes, he goes, we have one goal, and that is to get out alive. And you're going to do that by not angering someone who can smash us like a bug. He goes, I am very, very clear on this point. This is, I mean, it's very, very clear. He's there's not really anger. It's more very highly analytical.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, whatever he says, whatever he does, you pay him respect. You grin and you bear it. You don't backtalk. He's like, and we might walk out of here alive. If possible, we'll make a play for your mother. However,
I'm gonna shake my head
Yes.
no at that
he goes,
comment.
more than anything, we need to stay alive. He goes, don't let him break you.
Break me
This mofo would.
Yeah.
So don't. That's what he that is what he's thinking very specifically in that.
Okay.
So, Warden,
Yes.
as you ask this question, time around you seems to freeze. Everything comes to a halt. And a small break in front of you appears, almost in reality itself, as this small, like, golden white circle opens up, and in this you see the visage of a long green serpent with a pair of angelic wings about halfway through its body look to you and say, likelihoods are quite high. I wouldn't know for certain, but they're both hotheads.
Warden just kind of chuckles because he understood the joke.
And as that little divine gate kind of closes in on itself, and as it does, boop, and everything is moving again.
It was worth it either way because you never know what you're going to get from divination.
No, and you understood a joke, and that's in of itself a miracle.
I know.
Exactly. That's worth the 4th level spell.
I know. Here's to realizing halfway through the combat that I'm going to need another 4 levels.
Worth it. Okay.
So, with that information, does Warden do anything?
smell fresh
They actually.
Is there a bench within
upstairs?
bread.
Probably
close proximity to the wall of the
fresh
Hasserine Estates?
bread
Papa-
maker.
I'll say
Papa
sure.
Pizza?
There's a bench.
Papa
So
Morbius.
I'm not crossing the street. I'm gonna say with Rakitaki.
Bread's bacon.
I will sit within closer proximity. You two enjoy your refreshments, and I will take a seat at the back.
Cool, I just ordered scones.
He doesn't eat.
I don't have to. I can taste it, sure.
Fine, no scones for you then.
I'm not like a food enthusiast. Although that
Honestly,
would be a
that would be a
pretty cool
great character
That would be
trait
hilarious.
for a robot.
A warforged food enthusiast, just like
Warforged
Has
chef.
the chef feet. Honestly, the chef feet for a
Gotta get it around.
Warforged.
all 10,000 taste bud.
Yeah.
That's a 10.
That's
That would be hilarious.
Okay.
Takes
So-
out built-in blowtorch. It's raw.
It's fucking raw.
Fucking raw.
Oh,
So,
Oh my gosh. She's like the Gordon.
my
Gordon
gosh.
Ramsay.
Make
So-
a Gordon Ramsay robot.
It's Warden Ramsay.
Well,
I was gonna say, that's literally what I was thinking. It's Warden Ramsay. That's
You know what? Maybe if he can retire after this whole quest.
next ASI. You just take the chef feet. You're like, you know what?
No, it's just that's a post campaign. I'm just gonna retire and become a chef for no reason.
Becomes general manager of a burrito gong.
Burrito gone.
yes.
That's the burrito shop that the previous group started in Varian.
Yes, with the burrito gong, and we franchised, and
Yeah,
we
they,
were.
they franchised a mom and pop shop.
Thank you so much for making sure we went and found that burrito shop, and then we bought them out, and we made all this high tech stuff for them.
That's hilarious.
They were like barely things, and we were buying thousands of burritos.
Oh
so
my
we were
gosh.
giving. So then we dumped
Jeez.
1,000
They
platinum
put,
into
like,
them.
They put like 12,000 gold
Oh my
into
God.
their hands like the third time they met them.
And then
we're like,
eventually we're like,
grow.
we want to franchise you.
Dude.
So we were
Beautiful.
dumping platinum on them. Yeah, it
was
was that became its own.
Burrito gong. I love
Okay,
it.
Yeah.
so back to Butthole Clenched. So Warden, as you come back and sit down on the bench, you almost are getting out of the way of this massive cart. Now, when I say like a big bull-like creature, I mean like bull times 4. Like this thing probably weighs somewhere around 6,000 to 8,000 pounds.
The thing hauling the cart.
This thing hauling the cart, it's, you know, easily about 8 to 10 feet tall on its shoulders.
Oh, big John.
Big John. And so as this turns into Hasserine Estates, Nari, you have been looking out the window this whole time.
Yeah.
You recognize your father's card.
Whatever it takes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes.
I'm just trying to maintain a calm visage of
Bless you.
hands in pockets, trying to act relaxed. I am becoming a little bit more relaxed because now I realize that my first goal here was just to get in and figure out if she was even still alive. So that already kind of has me feeling like I've accomplished something by coming here. Though I am nervous and frustrated that Nibs is now in danger to an extent, but also I'm very grateful for the fact that he's here. I'm
Warden,
calming.
as soon as the cart enters the walls, pipes up over the comms to you. Eagle has landed T-minus 1 minute from his entering the building. And then I give a brief description on where we are located. You know, it's like I'm T-minus, you know, if I were to dash, how close would I be to the front door of where she's at?
It would
Given
be-
that her, given
What is
her
your
description.
movement speed?
Well, it's 30.
30.
60.
So it's 150 feet from the front gate to the front door
Yeah.
of the manor. And you're about, I want to say, 15 feet from the gate. So you'd be a solid 3 turns before you're inside the building.
20 seconds.
I'm T minus 20 seconds, and they are T minus like
An extra round.
30.
roughly 30 seconds, given the fact they have to cross the street. And then he just says, at all costs, avoid engagement. Light of God be with you. And then he stops talking.
As he pulls in, Andrea says, I will return shortly. And she kind of gets up and begins walking out the door.
How long does detect thoughts last?
A minute.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys are gone. Well,
So one of the last things when she gets some walks, he's gonna look at you and go, think really hard. Your fire burns brighter than his will ever. Focus on.
oh, that's
your
cute because
flames.
he's literally made of boar fire.
Yeah. But yeah, he is made of fire. But he's like, and that's the last thing before the connection ends. And he's gonna look back and reach over, pat you on the knee, and going to just spam guidance every 6 seconds.
Guys.
Yeah, you gotta. I'm gonna roll it. I got a D4 for you. Any interaction, any roll, you got a D4 on.
Okay.
Until they separate.
Mitch is like, be with you. Luck be with you. Luck be with you. Luck be with you.
So I got it landed side. Huh, it's a 2, right?
Yeah.
So +2.
Mari's gonna start fidgeting a little bit. Maybe pacing slightly in front of the windows, but still otherwise trying to like remain calm.
So, stepping out of this cart, first you see a pair of unfamiliar faces, as it seems his bodyguards step out first. And then the hunk of a man himself, the World Trade Center himself, steps out of the cart.
I'm gonna think to myself, he's smaller than I remember.
Yeah, you're a bit bigger. And Andreas steps up to him, and you see him as he looks down to her. He shrinks down to about the size of a normal human.
And
I'm gonna roll my eyes to show off.
Nips is gonna
Genie,
go.
What do you expect?
Well, I guess that explains the size.
He just doesn't shrink his dick, so he's just got 3 legs. Just standing there.
Just like, and, I mean, he says
He's got a
it-
banana hammock
again,
that's just super
yeah,
stretchy.
Anyway, he says it in Primordial and goes, no bulge at all.
So Assad
I don't
kind
know if
of
that helps cut the stress.
nods to her.
Actually, she's slightly insulted for her mother's sake a little bit.
After about 30 seconds
Is your
of them
tail stuck,
discussing-
or are you happy to see me?
That's weird.
I don't know if Afridi have tails, so.
No, they do not.
But it works for Nibs.
So, listening to Andrea speak for a moment, Assad kind of nods and begins to follow her inside.
What is his expression? Does he have an expression?
He's a little frustrated. He's stressed.
Damn.
This is a very, very big shipment that they're doing today, and he's being pulled away from that.
Warden
do
would
something
know
else.
that. Dude's already on edge.
Yeah. You specifically heard some heretical stuff. Too.
Well, the dude also hates the guy who is literally keeping the entire city of Brass afloat, but...
Or at least seems to not respect him as much as he should, when he knows that he's not necessarily
in a position
to be punished.
What is? Does Nibs know the proper form of respect when he enters? Is it a bow? Is it a kneel?
Also, how do I address him?
Daddy.
Father.
I mean, through the rules that they
That's
were
like,
stating
wait.
and they were discussing and people
Yeah.
were carrying on with this, addressing.
He is a noble.
He is a noble, and I know you. Do we?
He is a noble, however, he does not necessarily carry himself as most nobles do.
But we wouldn't necessarily know that.
Well, Nari knows that he's much less stuck up than some of the
I
other
guess so.
Afriti nobles. But, you know, a general
I feel like the
courtesy.
fact that he's blatantly doesn't give a fuck about the head honcho in the city, he probably is just tired. He's kind of at that age where he's like, he doesn't give a fuck.
I don't know if Nari would think of that.
I don't
Yeah.
know. That's what I'm
Either way.
Question.
Yes, we can.
The gates and the walls out in front of the estates, they're wrought iron,
Yeah.
correct? So I can kind of see through them.
Oh yeah, the gate's not closed. The gate is wide open.
I know, but we're down a little bit, aren't we?
You guys are. The
It's
gate
a
is
little bit,
huge.
so I can see through like the fence though.
So the walls
A little
itself are not.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just to get
The walls are
so-
a solid like concrete.
gotcha. So I'll wait about a minute and a half after they go in, and I'm just like, damn, these scones are great over the Rocky Talkies.
Okay. Nice.
Clear
I'm just gonna like look over to Nibs and just like
As you kind of give that side eye look,
primordial.
Andreas steps in. Asat Viserys, Master of Goods Transport, and Asat steps into the room, and he steps in briskly, like he doesn't just stride in. He's quick on his feet.
Nibs takes a quick bow, but he's kind of to the side. I
Nari's
assume.
going to do the same.
Do you stand? I assume. We
I've kind of been standing.
Pacing.
I would say.
Wait, wouldn't you know
I
how
wouldn't.
to address him, given that you were a
That's what I'm
literal
saying. How would I
slave?
address him?
I said you guys would would know the
okay.
general courtesy,
Okay.
Oh.
and therefore you could
Roleplay
perform
it as
it.
it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nibs is just gonna do the little bow, quiet, and then kind of step just behind Nari, just a little bit, but where he can just reach up and touch her leg.
Question. You know how we can technically broadcast incoming audio from the
Walkie-talkies.
Rocky Talkies?
Yes.
I mean, we did it earlier in the campaign.
Yeah.
Granted, it was more just for flavor text
Yeah.
because I was being a game show host at a campfire with a druid.
Yeah.
Will you ask Nari?
I'm going to ask Nari to broadcast her audio to me, or to all three of us out
Okay.
on the street.
Does Nari?
I mean, right before he walks in. I'm assuming.
Like literally, like as he's walking in.
And you're like, great scones, and you're. That's.
Not
Great scones.
that
Can
she
you broadcast?
broadcasts her audio, that she broadcasts her incoming surroundings.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. Nari, do you flip
Nari's
it on?
gonna take a couple seconds
It's
to
a
make
literal
Warden
mental. It's a
wonder,
mental flip.
and make Warden wonder whether or not she's gonna do it first, and then she will. Like as he's stepping into the room and she's beginning to bow and.
Sweet. Now she doesn't have to relay anything.
Okay.
Okay. So as Asat steps in, you hear the again booming voice of your father. Who the fuck are these people again? Andreas can. Oh. Well, all right. What are you doing here?
Well, sir, I came only to inquire whether or not.
Speak with your chest. Come on. No child of mine will look at the floor when they are speaking to a superior.
Nari's gonna straighten up at that. Hands like kind of at her side, almost in a salute in a way. Well, sir, we've come to inquire as to the state of my mother. I only wish to know if she was alive or if she had been sold or was for sale, perhaps, but that is all.
Ah, and Rora. She was sleek. I remember her well. Quite difficult, though. Had a bit of opinions. She spent some time in the Long Castle.
So I've heard.
She didn't really come back well, one could say. However, I want to know, what right do you believe you have to come back to my home after you ran, and believe I should not just put you back in chains?
Nari's gonna ponder on
Warden,
it for a
Warden is
moment.
just gonna say, clarify to him over the, because now I can technically metagame
Yeah.
and get away with it.
Technically.
Whatever you do, you can add a D3 too.
Okay. I'm gonna say it was not my intention to run. I was sold from master to master for most of my life. I was, for the most part, unable to come back. but now have come back freed and only wished to inquire. I do not believe I have any right. I did not realize I needed to make an appointment to even come visit, which was for which we have apologized, and I shall apologize again. It was only to inquire. I did not mean to take any of your time.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion. You can add 3 to it.
That'll be a 4.
Oh, well. What is Jay? Please be good.
It's not.
No.
Was it a 1?
It's a 3.
6.
It wasn't in the bucket.
Do you have
Yeah, it
any
wasn't in the bucket. It wasn't in the
natural?
bucket. Oh, for persuasion?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't in the
Minus 3.
bucket.
-1. 5.
And the feast does nothing for charisma.
No, it does
No.
absolutely nothing for charisma.
Yeah.
I do want to note that I am really trying to be genuine because I did not intend to meet him or
Yeah.
or talk to him or even like be near him at all.
Yeah.
So
Big rips.
He kind of takes a few moments. I cannot deal with this today. If you wish to come back in the morning, you are welcome to. If you're wanting information, you can come back then.
of course I thank you for your generosity, sir. Give another little bow.
And he's just gonna walk out of the room. He doesn't seem very happy.
Warden is going to let out an audible sigh. I'm just sitting on a bench, and it's just like you just see the stiff robe. I go. I just farted some ether. So what's the magic called again? It's
Weave?
yeah, I farted some weave or something.
That sounds so.
That's my
awesome.
entire.
I farted
Norris
weed.
gonna glance over
That's
at
my
Nibs,
entire internals.
and then back to Andreas.
Nibs is gonna go.
Andreas.
Oh, Piers, we have an appointment. What time should we arrive?
Honestly, earlier is better. Meetings start sometime around 9, so if you came before then, that would likely suffice.
Very well.
Thank you for your time. I'm gonna bow. I'm gonna go over and grab Niz's hand and start walking out. I do not want to wait around.
Oh, we're GTFing out of there.
Just to denote, at this point you are scheduled in. Failure to arrive will require... We will alert the Illuminated to attempt to find you. This is a meeting. It is official at this point.
With an official person.
Alright,
And-
I'm quite sure.
Yeah, and Nibs just goes. We wouldn't dream of insulting you or the master in such a way. And she goes.
I was gonna think to the rest of it. Yeah, damn, I thought about it.
And as we make the turn and we're walking, Nibs is going to wait for some noise that's loud, and then in Primer going to go, "Fuck!" Just so it covers like when something happens. He's just waiting for it, and then he's just gonna do it.
Yeah.
So Warden will pipe in over the comm and say, "Well, you can't arrest someone who's dead. That was a joke."
Nibs is wishing he heard that.
Speak back into the thing. Oh, someone will be dead. And it'll be your fucking room on us.
Are you thinking that, or did you mutter it? So Nibs
No, I'm saying it to the
Okay.
Rocky
Rocky
Talkie.
Talkie.
Okay. Yeah. So,
Well, and then Warden's going to say, "Well, unfortunate news. We have another meeting, and it is in how much time has passed by now? 30 minutes.
At this point, 30 or so minutes have passed.
So it's in about 4 hours.
You got
So-
it was about 1 to 1:30. So at
He
this
said
point,
he
it's
has
almost
a
2.
5.
So like 3 or so hours.
He's like, "Well, we have about 3 hours until our
next meeting.
first meeting."
So as we walk out the door, Nibs is going to take a quick little look around the place, all the hubbub and everything, and just gonna keep holding your hand as you walk through, and
I'm almost.
Yeah.
I'm moving brisk. I'm moving.
yeah. Oh yeah,
quickly.
you've got long stride on.
Oh yeah, you're moving.
Like dragging him if I need
Sprinting
to.
just,
Practically
Well,
back
I'm
to
not
normal
sprinting,
walk.
but I'm formal speed
No.
walking.
He
Well,
is
darn.
sprinting.
I have
Oh.
I have 40 feet movement, and you have 30 plus 10, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm a
you
monk.
good.
I'm a monk. I'm just. So as we exit, Nibs is going to give your finger another squeeze, let go, walk over to the wall, and then try to put his head through the wall real quick on that side. Just bang! Hit his head on the wall, and he's going to do that 3 times.
Before it hits the third time, Warden is behind him at this point and picks him up. Just like kind of by the
By the scruff.
by his scruff.
Set it up
Like
there.
literally like a mother pup picks up a child pup like by the tuft of the
sits
neck,
in him. It's like,
and I just kind of put him on my shoulder.
I'm going to pat you and go, well, it doesn't look like I have to worry about dying from breaking a contract with that guy. I'll be lucky to make it off this plane. And I'll just
Warden,
let us walk.
He's like, we will be lucky if we survive our first meeting.
I'm going to.
And then he says,
Alright, gonna
So-
kind of look down and be.
let's focus on that before your meeting tomorrow.
Let me.
Which, by the way, you don't know that I already know about the meeting that's happening tomorrow for you guys.
Yeah. Well, I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna go.
But I do.
I'm gonna sigh a couple times and go. Nari, I don't pretend to be the wisest person. He goes, no, I do. I mean, hey, let me rephrase it. I'm not the most intelligent of our party, but I do believe I'm fairly wise. I think wisdom dictates 2 things. Next time, when you decide to walk into a heavily defended stronghold to inquire on a person who's very dear to you, please inform your party members if you're the fucking daughter of one of the biggest honchos around. That would help in planning. And 2, you're not going to that meeting tomorrow. And I'm going to look over at him and Nate and go and say, I don't.
Nari's gonna be like, fuck, you're not going to that meeting tomorrow. This is my business.
Warden.
He goes,
Warden's-
There's no reason to put you in any further danger. That's even if we make it through the evening.
yeah, but I'm just gonna look over at you.
We're at the cafe
And
now,
then
right?
Yeah, you guys are-
What are the rules about drawing weapons during the day, middle of the street?
Well, I'm gonna.
Depends on if Illuminated are around.
They're eliminated around?
There's
This is
Illuminated everywhere.
yeah.
You are right next to us. You are across the street
from one of the big.
one of like the 5 biggest strongholds
This is nowhere near one of the
Yeah,
five biggest
of
strongholds.
one of the.
This is-
One of, he's a mover.
in the district.
And I'm gonna look back at Nari and go, just think about it. It's like, and I'm gonna grin at you and go, it's like, if he doesn't, well, we'll get into that when we're farther away. I don't know if he can fuck my mind from here.
Warden lets out another audible sigh.
It's like,
You think you can
Are the
fuck a lot of
Illuminated
things
Afridi?
currently? Let's have a- I don't know
Wait,
about
I
that,
need a
about
clarification real quick. The Illuminated are Afridi, correct?
Mhm.
Okay. I'm going to let out another audible sigh and say, can't Afridi smell like better than you? And I look at you since you're a dog.
that. Since you're a dog.
Well, you're a half dog.
Half dragon.
I didn't.
oh my goodness, Nibs is. Some of these rolls I'm doing on his choices are interesting. Nibs is going to kind of just pat you on the shoulder and go, you know, I've never asked one if they smell better than me. However, I guess it's an opinion on if they like the smell of embers or if they like the smell of lightning and scales. But I personally think I smell better than them.
Do you think
Nari's
Nari?
gonna roll her eyes at this whole
Do you
conversation
think?
about
Do you
sniffing
think
and
our
smells and
Nari here would probably smell a little bit better than our bird.
It's like, if he was a bird, yes. But when he shifts, he smells like what he shifts to.
So
that true?
instead of putting just
Hold
I
on,
mean,
you're
it's
actually-
somewhat.
one
It's
extra
not a
body
perfect
member in
1 for
danger.
1.
Now you're
but-
suggesting
So,
we put
what I'm-
2,
I'm
and
trying
the
to
person
say
who's
is,
not
like-
even who is involved in all of this does not even arrive. How is that the wisest course of action?
Simple. He's not emotionally compromised. 2, believe it or not, he is better with people than either of us. And 3, I'm gonna look at him and go, would it be fun to fuck over someone like this? Pull a fast one.
Warden lets out his
That's
third
right, I like-
and
You
final
mean a
audible sigh.
very not fast one.
And it's like, and if worse
isn't
comes to
simple.
worse, you can just.
This isn't a little quickie.
Okay.
You're right. Worst comes
This
to
would
worst,
take days to plan.
you can just.
At its best.
Anyways, Warden lets out his third audible sigh. And this time, as loud as he can, he says,
We have other business this evening, don't we?
You're right. It won't be just a quickie. I could get stuck with something for 18 years.
It's like venereal diseases are always hard to get rid of. But I would think
Longer
someone
depends
like you
upon the
could just
race.
bid it out.
anyways,
Nari's gonna start stomping off back towards the.
We're not going to the
Where we
brothel,
were.
by the way. We're heading back to the party house.
Yeah, that's what I assumed.
Okay.
before everyone gets too carried away, we do have another meeting that is going to be a lot more at hand. So let's focus on this for the time being. He turns to our guide and says,
I'm just gonna
What have
flap
we
my
been
wings
calling
and be, excuse me, race inclusiveness.
what?
That's literally what you would say.
Petrus.
Yeah, but
Penis.
what is he again?
Penis.
He's
a tiefling.
a
right?
tiefling.
But he's a
He's a warlock.
oh yeah, that's right. I called him Warlock. Warlock. We need some privacy to discuss the matters at hand. We have T-minus 3 hours. Do you suggest we head back to the
Party palace.
Party, please.
party place?
I guess that could be primary course of action. I mean, it's in the plume where you said Ketharak was wanting to meet. So, I mean, might
Did we
as well
tell
go.
him the name of the dude?
Yes. You guys have spoken about Ketharak publicly in front of him.
Yeah.
at this
So,
point.
but to his knowledge, we are just trying not to be killed by, by the. Well, I was gonna say.
No, we told him.
Well,
Drake told him that we wanted a
Oh,
devil.
to kill the demon
Yeah,
guy.
to kill.
Well,
And he's good with that.
and he understands at this point that we just need to kill. We need to kill a greater demon, but our current target is, well, the one we are about to meet with.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I literally relayed the entire
Yeah.
thing over to him as
Okay.
well.
Well, the party place isn't too far. I could at least scout out this little place, try and find it before the meeting time. I know the city better than any of you, so I could try and find the shop, see what's there, see who runs it. Figure things out a little bit before you all meet there. If you are wanting privacy, I can leave you at Advar's for a little bit of time.
Sounds like
You have an hour to scout. Meet back with us with any details.
Alright, well, it'll take you nearly 35 minutes to get back to Advar's, so I'll give myself an hour and a half.
The reason I said an hour is because calculating the time to travel plus him having an hour, he would be back telling us details within like 30-40 minutes before we have to meet with the guy.
Yeah,
So,
well, I mean, 3 hours from now is when you're meeting.
that's what I'm saying.
Take 30 minutes to get there. He takes 30 minutes, takes an hour. He'll have an hour and a half before you guys have to meet there and meet him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. So,
So-
Nibs is gonna Nibs is just kind of breathing. His Tom Dickory and all that. It's his decompression. That's how he's dealing with stress. Is making the stupid jokes, doing the everything. Yeah, he makes dick jokes. Pencil dick
jokes.
jokes.
Pencil break.
And other things. So
So, You guys make your way back to Advar's party place. At which point, you are again welcomed by the most frat boy of an archmage you've ever met, who is again having a bit of a rager. In the front, there's a innumerous amount of larger people at this point who are kind of lined up with this keg that appears to be about like a 500-gallon just jug that's floating in the air, and people are just under spigots trying to drink from it.
Nibs is gonna look over at you and go, "Are there rules about who can join?"
Not
No.
on my watch.
Better
Nibs is
get
like,
a nicer watch.
Nibs is like,
I
I just need a minute. And
I turn to you and just kind of pop out the wings of my grappling hook and then pop it back in.
And as you're doing that, I would like
Kind
to
of a
have
lot.
Nibs quickly jump off his shoulders, land on the barrel, and run to the top and see if I can jump into the top of the
I
barrel.
attempt to catch him as he's
Well,
jumping.
that's when you're distracted. I wanted to see.
Well, I have 4
Stealth?
arms, and I literally just went like, I just
Stealth
flashed
or-
my arm.
I'll
out.
have you guys. You can roll an acrobatics and go ahead and roll an athletics. Well, you can roll acrobatics or athletics,
Okay. I'll
and
move.
I would say roll an athletics to see if you can grapple him before he flies away from you.
Can I give him advantage on
Why
this
would you do this?
by casting like either silent image or minor illusion to make it look like his pattern diverges, so he can't tell which one's him?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Does that mean I have to roll luck as well?
That's a 19 athletics.
Against a 12.
Here's what I foresee.
Okay.
The lid's on it, and I'm gonna just pop. Or is the lid off?
Well,
Because I'm going up the
there,
side.
there appears to not be a lid on this. As
Okay.
you jump up and begin
Nice.
going through the air, you feel this rush of adrenaline, and then you just feel inertia kick in fully as you are stopped in place as an arcane hand has grabbed you by the foot, and
And
you
I
are now.
touch the liquid.
Yeah, you can touch. You can touch. You're like being dangled by a massive arcane hand.
It's like, sorry, I thought I could just jump in.
At this point, a little straw appears in the arcane hand's other fingers and drops it down to you.
It's like, all right, it's not jumping in, but he takes a sip and goes, well, I guess that was my minute. I was hoping to get a little more soused, but yeah, that's all right.
You hear the
That's
familiar voice of Advar. Well, 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 we're quite sanitary here. I wouldn't have, no offense to you, but any adventurer jump into the keg.
Just like, then how will you ever have a good brew? Don't you know that it needs flavoring and aging and
Oh,
all
we
those
flavor it with the
nasty...
souls of the dead. Don't worry, there's plenty of flavoring in there.
And they're just gonna be like, can I have that straw back?
It's still in your hand.
Oh,
You're
oh, I
still
thought-
just being held upside down by this
I'm gonna-
arcane hand.
I'm gonna be stretching as
That
far
did
as
not look
That
right.
did not look right.
Well, I'm hanging it
there
upside
You
down.
just missed the most
Yeah.
incriminating thing I've ever seen. He just like, I could grab
Daddy,
that straw again.
chill. Like,
Well, I'm hanging out. Nibs is hanging down. Okay.
Jade's face.
I couldn't see it, but I can imagine what it just looked like.
Bro, what you did was this.
Especially with my hand position. Well, it was more like this.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, where is he at this point? Is he,
I'm
like,
up in
just-
the air
rest-
above a
I'm
bottle.
not talking
above
about you. I'm
a
talking
gig.
about.
Mikhail is
like
just
right there. with
right there,
you
and
guys.
you guys
Okay.
all entered, and Nibs
I'm
was
gonna,
like,
I'm gonna look over. I'm gonna like kind of lean over him. You guys keep trying to make us. He doesn't swing this way. There's your proof right there. Just look over.
Well, I'm hanging upside down, so it's not quite that angle. It'd be more anyway.
don't replicate.
Anyway,
We do not need replication.
so after
Don't worry, the Saturday party will hear about this.
after my minute, I'm like, well, I only asked for a minute. Would you please return me?
the
Release.
arcane hand kind of flips you up and grabs you at a more normal trajectory, and then kind of floats down and sets you on the ground.
Can I toll the dead the barrel? Try to spice it up a little.
Hold on. Toll the dead.
It's necrotic.
It's necrotic, yeah, but Toll...
It's
Let me
anyway.
see.
I'm sorry. It's an at will. It's just like 2d8 necrotic. No.
It's for a creature.
Never mind.
I'm not,
I'm
I'm
just.
not gonna
I'm
say-
just.
You could, like, put some lightning in there with Shocking Grasp or Ball of Lightning.
I'm fine.
Fortunately, you did not get to touch it.
I didn't get to touch the liquid, so besides the straw.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna come back down and go. Do you have any oil and dwarven whiskey?
I can procreate just about anything you could ever desire, my dear friend.
I'm going to just kind of nod and go. That's good to know.
You got any more of those brownies, Mike?
Nibs will pull out one that he has in his bag and hand it to him.
It almost gave me a trip last time. It was actually quite impressive. And he just unhinges his jaw again and shoves the whole thing in his mouth.
Wait, what? The first time in 2,000 years?
Only a couple hundred, alright. I get my party's worth every once in a while.
So, Nibs has got a little to drink, and after you hear him procreate anything that you want to drink, he's going to not have a desire.
That is what you said.
After you heard that, he's going to be like.
I thought I said procure.
No,
No,
you
you
said
said
procreate.
procreate.
Yeah,
that's
that's
why
the-
we're all
I
like,
meant to say procure.
Okay, but Nibs heard procreate, and
Well,
so
yes,
him jizzing out a oil and whiskey is just too far for him, and so he's going to head up to the room,
It's procreate. There has to be two parts, so you gotta get it out somehow.
and that's why he's walking away. It was bad enough that he stretched for that straw.
Okay.
Logan can't take any more. Nibs probably could. He's got wild shape.
Yeah. Okay. So
was
you
way
guys go
100%.
up into your room, and what do you all do there?
Nibs is gonna say, "Well, Nari, did you broadcast, or do they need to be brought up to speed?"
You're aware.
Good. And Nibs is gonna walk over to his little stash and stick his head under the pillow, and just holler for a minute. Just yeah. And then he's gonna come out. He's gonna be fine, and he's going to sit down and start meditating.
Okay. Anyone else have other plans they would like to use for this hour?
Nibs will ask, "So who are we meeting?"
Well, I'm going to head
the Blue
to
Devil.
the room that we're going to discuss about all of this.
Yeah.
The public's ears and eyes.
Yep.
So.
Yep, that's where
Well,
we're.
that's where we
Well,
are.
that's where you guys are at.
yes,
You
we
guys are in your room
Oh,
at this
fuck,
point.
I didn't
We
know
were.
that. Oh well,
Yep.
Warden. Since I know he doesn't have a walkie-talkie, I repeat everything that I had relayed to everyone else over the walkie-talkie on my scrying. The fact that he has now identified both me and Trick at least, and is obviously going to be meeting us, or wanting to meet us within a few hours.
Ember. Does it have? Is this particular devil have? Do you have a score to settle with him, or is there another one we could? Would you mind if we killed a different one?
I think the less danger we put ourselves in, the better.
Well, we've got three options the way I see it. One, we meet him and he'll be prepared and we try to kill him. Two, we meet him, we tell him a lie, a story, and he kills us. Or three, we tell him the truth and see if he's got an enemy he wants us to get rid of. And maybe he'll assist us in doing it. And we both get something we want. But that's just the way.
Strategic analysis. I see no reason to lie.
I don't think lying is going to get us anywhere, but I don't know if talking with him will either.
The fourth option would be to not show to this meeting. However, given the response of what an official meeting can do if you decide to skip. Imagine what an under-the-table, unofficial meeting would do to someone of the same stature. And he knows of me and Drake, and I am not quite the easily hidden object,
Aye.
given the fact that I'm literally just a massive ball of glowing. Anyone who can see the arcane weave is like, this guy's literally just a walking nuclear bomb.
Pretty much.
Trek, I'm a good lad.
Which is probably
what is,
how
what
he
is your
saw
thoughts on
me
this situation?
to begin with. This dude is such a high-level mage, he could probably see the weave if he wants to, and he could literally is seeing this giant globe following him. I just thought about that.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know.
That's why my stealth is shit.
So
No,
anyway,
your stuff is shit because you're a
yeah,
massive
Nibs,
chunk of metal.
Nibs is gonna look over to Trek and go, Trek, my boy, what are your thoughts on this whole situation?
Mostly, Drake is annoyed.
By what?
Would sum it up. He's very annoyed. He does not know how to fight something which always knows where everything is. And so he's trying to think of solutions for that.
Oh, I'm right there with you. Right there with you. The best way to win a battle with a powerful being is not to fight it. It's to get them to fight themselves.
This is true. At the same time, I'd like to know how he's doing it. I can't figure it out.
Magic.
You do that.
More- I assume
No.
Trek and I just kind of just
SpongeBob
turn
imagination.
and just kind of stare at you for a second, and then look back at you. And,
I guess you guys haven't been to that plane yet.
yes, the plane of ice cream and ice cream sundaes and lollipops. What a wonderful plane of existence where magic makes lollipops grow out of trees and everyone has a dildo. What? He's like, what? He's gonna walk away, just start muttering weird things, and goes, "Yes, where magic is not the answer to everything."
You just gonna shrug. Well, you were pretty close.
Because Betty's gonna walk back and go, obviously he's using magic, or he's using the weave, or he's using psionics, or he's using some godlike power to know where we are. Anyway,
Wait. That's it. Nari, Venus, you guys know the city better than the others.
It is Petrus.
Anyway, is there a library or somewhere we can find more information on these kinds of things?
Hold on.
Oh, that a lot of
Petrus actually isn't there.
Petrus
Yeah.
is not there.
he went
I
scouting.
I sent Petrus to scout for the
Oh,
next hour.
So he won't be back here for another 40 plus minutes at this point.
Yes, let's ask
Alright, that's fine.
let's ask 6-year-old Nari. Was there a library
Maybe she knows.
specifically
I
in
was
Her
the
dad?
Plume?
Thank you very much.
She was A.
I'm sure her dad is kinky and had library fetishes.
Yes. Where is the
Because
library
he had
in the
so much
Plume?
time for that.
Because he
With
wanted to
Wilbur
burn them.
Booten.
He wanted to
With-
burn them books.
Bert.
A better person to ask, and this is Warden finally speaking. A better person to ask would possibly be Mikhail,
Mikhail, do you think
as he knows the Plume.
Mikhail would have tried to visit a library while he was here? I
Nope.
personally don't think so. Yeah.
So,
Better question, would one of his companions?
so
I like the
Maybe a little bit
thinking.
more than him,
Also, no.
but I didn't think as much either. Yeah.
what languages do you speak?
me.
Common, Elvish, Sylvan, Deep Scan.
Okay.
I appreciate you trying to think.
I put
Trick.
Lloyd instead of Elvin.
Keep up the thinking, but we'll move on to another idea.
So
I appreciate you trying to think, but it is not your strong suit. So shut the fuck up and let's move on.
I said, I appreciate you using your brain. Please continue to use your brain, but not in that way.
So Nibs is gonna go. How many of us are going to the meeting? Is it all of us? Is it just 2 of you? Are the rest of us gonna stay close by where he knows we're there?
Analysis.
Where he knows we're there.
This is just for roleplay. 14. Automated response. Strategic analysis. The likelihood is this person is so powerful that even one person missing from this party could detriment the entire party's well-being.
So we're just gonna go lay it all out for him and say, hey, we need to capture a devil of a certain power level and put him in a crystal so he can be taken back to the primordials so they can destroy reality as we know it and free themselves, which will also free a number of other great powerful beings and have chaos run on our plane. And by the way, we were going to do it to you, and then if you're not willing, do you have someone who you think you'd like us to do it to instead?
Sounds like a perfect plan.
I think it's great, personally.
Is there any sarcasm in that, or are you guys serious? I'm just
I mean, I'm
Warden
Nari's
doesn't
semi-serious.
sarcasm.
Nari's semi-serious because, like, she also kind of wants to beat his ass, but, like, at the same time, she doesn't want everybody to die.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Nari
Warden
could go either
has
way.
a
Nari could
single
fight, Nari could
face.
not.
Yeah.
He doesn't make faces or sarcasm.
So-
unfortunately.
He has been making sarcasm.
He's starting to make jokes.
He has been making sarcasm.
Well,
He's been making.
he's been making
Attempting
sarcasm.
sarcasm.
However,
I
he doesn't-
attempted sarcasm earlier, but
So
if you wish, small one. I know I'm not a charismatic folk, but I think that would work in our favor, given that he would know I have nothing to hide. I can do the talking.
it's like, well, he did invite you and Trake, so.
Nari's gonna kind of like.
He goes, but I guess it's all of us. I'm gonna look over at you and go, well, are we? And then look back over at Trake and go, it looks like we have 2 people who have voted for the honesty and full transparency to see what will happen.
I mean, dude can.
Do we have a consensus on this?
Drake doesn't answer. He doesn't like it, but he doesn't know what to do.
Warden turns to Trake and reiterates, you and I will be the one meeting him face to face. The others will be nearby in close proximity if anything were to happen. Please, let me do the talking. Unless he directly addresses you, I recommend that you keep thinking of good ideas.
I understand.
We are dealing with someone who
understand.
probably has something on the level of true detect thoughts, so there is no point in trying to pull shit out of your ass. He'll already know the shit's in your ass before you pull it.
He'll know that your colon is
Yeah.
blocked.
He'll be so far up your ass before you even know it.
Nari's
But
gonna say maybe.
Warden
maybe
will
he'll find
say-
some of the goldies
Warden will say,
stashing away somewhere.
That is true, though. Nibs had an incredible amount of gold stashed away before coming here. And you spent a lot on magic items, and then you went and spent another 5,000 on an identity, and then another near 1,000 for the Heroes Feast, and then, another 1,500 to get in the city.
I'm down to 359.
Yeah, you have like...
I hadn't spent a penny really up to this point.
Yeah.
I had been.
yeah, that's right, because I bought all of your salt.
That is fair.
Yes.
Which is like the only thing you bought for
But
the
we-
majority of the campaign.
But we turned a profit.
You got like 50 extra gold.
Profit. Yeah.
Profit.
Yeah, profit. Stop.
All hail profit.
But Warden does turn and points to Trake's rock and says, but if you wish for me to say something for you, I trust that our old master's stones may be encrypted to a degree.
You have no clue.
We have no. We don't know till we try.
Our old master stones. These suckers are encrypted, man.
Boy, they're clogged up. They've been
Yeah,
twisted
Yeah, I just.
for a decade.
That's a lot of information to swallow.
I'm sorry. We went there. This whole session has been my fault.
Oh, it's great. We've gotten shit done. We've gotten something
No,
done.
I mean this whole.
Yeah, pencil deck.
Yeah, from
Dick
there
pics?
on, it got us there. Anyway,
My smite's gonna be like, well,
Yeah, I mean, you went from 0 to number 2.
Warden doesn't have
truth
stone.
ain't my forte.
I thought that was
But I'll try
great.
anything once.
Why did you two not say anything?
Could you imagine
That's the
if
best
like?
joke I've probably ever made.
Could you imagine if like our old master just pulled the rocks out of his pocket and like there's like dust on it and blows it off? Like he's like down there like rummaging in his pocket and then finally pulls out the stones. Sorry, they haven't been used
He's
in a
like,
while. Haven't seen
sorry,
action.
it's an obstacle. Okay,
Just-
there's 8
sorry.
down there. I spread them around every once
I
in a
mean,
while.
he's a hippo.
Sorry, these haven't seen action in a while.
I give a Krogan's left nut.
Look, all right, I'm just down to a tresticle now, so don't worry about
Okay,
it.
okay.
All right,
so
moving on.
710. Golly on toast.
So you guys,
So the dude shows up, and
I would say you guys take a short rest. There's not time for a long one, but I don't know if you guys have anything down that would come back on a short rest. I don't really think you do. Either way,
it's always good to short your rests.
you guys can always short your rests.
Why?
I'm gonna do it, but I don't think I need to.
Yeah. So,
Everything I've used is at will.
yeah. The only person who's really used a fair bit is Nibs and some spell slots.
But I don't think I'm gonna get any of those back.
No, you're not a warlock, sadly.
Rip.
So, you guys wait about another 30 to 40 minutes until Petrus returns.
During the long
Finger.
rest, what's your primary melee weapon again? Or can I use it as a...
Rapier, I think.
or can
Her
Oh, wait.
Frostbrand Rapier is
Yeah.
your primary weapon.
My finger.
Or just yeah, this is your primary weapon in general, right?
That's kinky.
That was Mel's finger.
It was.
I tend to all of our gear, obviously, since it's kind of my thing.
Giving her a blade.
And I ask for her sword, and I say a prayer. Kind of do the whole like Geralt thing of waving the hand over
Yeah.
the sword, and give blessing of the forge, and to resheath it. You now have a +1 bonus.
Is it? It's still a +1, yeah.
Yes, you get a. So she gets a +1 on top of her weapon.
Tech stuff.
It does not say anything
Do you have
about.
any more, like, tech
Ah, it
stuff
has to be a
besides your
non-magical.
launcher?
Fuck. It does say. There's another thing I have that
I
doesn't
think I just
have
have that
non-magical.
rifle thing.
Wait, is her thing magical?
The Frostbrand Rapier is magical. I think it's kind of dumb. If you don't have anything else, I will let you add it to that nonetheless. Yeah, I don't think you have a way to add it. Rules is written, but I will let you add the +1 to the weapon nonetheless.
Is to trade his
You have a +1 to attack and damage rolls for your sword. Congratulations. On top of whatever other things your Frostbrand
might
sword does.
get
I will
her
add that to your
raised
character
if
sheet,
she's
Claire.
still alive.
You have it for the
Claire's
next.
mom would be the ancient tech.
Until my next long rest or I die.
What?
Why not money?
Congratulations.
So if you want to refresh your sheet, Claire, you should now have +10 to
I
your
don't
attack
have
with
any
the Frostbrand
money
Rapier.
I mean, yeah, we can make an offer.
And another +1 to the
but an
damage.
artifact is, anyway, that's his.
Did you
thoughts
add the
on
+1 to damage?
that. So
Yeah,
he would get
+1
the
to
pistol
attack roll and
the
damage.
firearm stuff
Cool.
in trade for her. I was curious if you had anything to be added to that,
Just that rifle.
which you signed a soul contract on.
Yeah.
To protect at all costs, lest his soul be removed from his body.
Yeah. So that'd be a no.
You can't really give away the Psychic Lancer, sadly.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of, I still forgot to freaking rework it.
Does the rework make it more powerful?
A little bit. We've already spoken on what it does, so he knows the details. I just need
Well, I knew the details.
we can go through it again.
All right.
different time.
So he shows up. We go to the meeting.
He shows up and he kind of sits down.
Who?
All right, Petrus.
Ah, cool.
Penis.
So little lad bought a penis. So Petrus returns to Advar's and steps up into your guys' kind of suite. Comes inside real quickly, and says, "All right, so the place is called the Parades. I don't really know. I forgot what the place was called. It's the Parades something. It's got a big old plume of orange fire in front of it. It appears to be a little rent-a-room cafe kind of place. Not a brothel by any means, but it's quite the interesting place. I spent some time around it. It didn't really look like there were many illuminated in the area. Other than that, I didn't see anything too special around. I mean, there's some benches on the street that we could chill on. I mean, there were plenty of traffic of the more mortal peoples, so we may not look too suspicious as those not specifically have spoken to Ketharak. Other than that, I honestly don't know. I wasn't able to find anything else too special around the area.
By chance, is your patron on good terms with her father, or are they opposed?
My patron hasn't necessarily told me too much about his standing in the city.
But it's not her father.
I'm fairly certain.
Does he know the name of the patron?
It's good. I'm gonna turn to Trek and go like, anybody named Penis better not be a patron of a guy with that small of a dick.
However, I will say, you hired me to be the brains.
And yes.
That would mostly, though, that you'd come, honestly. But yes, if that keeps you here.
Well, I am the penis. Well, here's the interesting thing about all of this. From what your robotic friend told me, Assad isn't the biggest fan of the Sultan. And then goes through and lists all of his titles and such.
Yeah.
Titles.
Let's just call him Salty, and then no
Well,
one will know what
Salty.
we're. It will not.
Yeah,
No one will know.
Salty. I like that.
Salty.
So, Assad's not the biggest fan of Salty. Well,
Does he combust?
does he combust?
It's probably because he had.
That's enough
Well-
out of you for the night.
Thank you.
Worcestershire. Well,
Worcestershire.
Worcestershire.
Anyways,
I'm trying to think of this.
She is coming for you.
That churro.
It's one of those nights I'm.
Bro's a broken conveyor belt.
That's my oxygen deprivation laugh. It's been a
I can
long
barely
week.
hear
It's been a long week.
Bro, it's Wednesday.
It's been a long week already.
I thought it sounded like one of those dusty fans that like one of the bolts is coming loose and the whole thing's kind of just shaking back
yeah.
and forth.
Oh my god.
Oh my nuts! That's the best
That's. I don't know why I'm saying that. I'm tired.
Oh my
nibs.
stones! Oh my massive gargantuan stones! Oh no!
I'm surprised the tiefling hasn't said he can nibs on my.
What the? What?
Anyway, so Salty.
Not salty! Not salty!
What was it?
I'm
Salty?
trying to eat some pineapple first.
Why is this in your game and not my game? Because then, I mean, I'm always like, come on, guys. But now I'm doing it. Why am I doing this?
'Cause
You
you're
have
a D&D
polluted
player.
me.
Because you're a
Yeah.
player. As
I'm
soon
a
as you
movie
become a
of the
player,
game.
you are immediately gay and absolutely chaotic. there is no
Immediately
in
become
between.
gay.
Unless you are literally playing a chaotic evil character or a lawful evil character, you just immediately become the most chaotic person in the party ever known to man.
Oh, kid grief. Yeah, you're right.
Case in point.
Sorry.
All right.
Is Warden
So
Ray?
what? Outside of
Is Warden
Nibblins,
Sundar?
you guys good?
We're good.
All right. I've been doing some thinking.
Is it hard?
It's very tough. I'm not the smartest.
But
I know the laws of this city. And I know a lot of Ifriti like to go upwards when it comes to nobility. How much do you care for the life of your father?
None.
Well, it would be difficult and it would take some worming around. But if we could possibly find one of the other Afriti in the Ring of Smoldering Chains and discuss with them, we could possibly get your father excommunicated. With their knowledge of him, we would have to convince them to bring about his heretical nature to that of Salty. Upon which your father would no longer be an issue.
How does this help with the demon?
It doesn't. The demon is not what I'm discussing here. I am merely discussing your other shit.
The tomorrow shit, not today's shit.
Today's shit, we're fucked. If we survive, this is just an option.
You
I
swore
like
on your
options.
soul. You swore on your soul not to shapeshift while in the city, correct?
Indeed.
No,
Not on his soul.
Exactly.
Wasn't it like a 25th year soul? Or something
I
like
forgot.
Well, not for shifting. It's just punishable by death.
Yeah.
I shouldn't encourage you to.
Die.
I mean,
Yeah.
not until we get back. Then it's your choice. But until then, unless it's self-sacrifice, I don't think it's worth it. I ain't gonna pet your wing. It's like, besides, you got someone. Well, you've got someone to live for. Which Nib's is the only one who picked up on that of our group, but
Alright, well, get a meal, get food in your belly. It's terrible to die on an empty stomach. Let me know when you're ready to go. I'll be down drinking away my sanity.
I offer him a brownie.
He gladly accepts.
He's gonna be high when we meet up with the dude.
I don't have pure cure poison.
Alright, do you guys have anything you want to do before you go and have the meeting with Ketharak?
I am going to be combat training in my little corner of the room. I'm just going through, you know, combat training and yeah, stuff like that. Specifically, since I have gained a lot more motor control, I should say, I'm going to practice deploying my things I have in my arms on each one. Obviously not firing the grappling hook, but
Yeah.
but practice deploying them independently and then simultaneously. Like, I'm just going to keep practicing moving all my arms and everything like that, trying to get to my motion as fluid as possible, but, you know, kind of just getting my last little bit of trying to grease the gears just an ounce more before I go out there.
Kep.
Nari is going to write a note to her mother and arrange for a messenger to take it in the morning if she does not show up to the meeting. Essentially, if she is not
Okay, so to
alive.
take a note to who?
How it, just to the household.
if for what, like if she dies.
Like essentially, if I die,
Right.
I just
If
want
you
to.
receive this note and it's past 9 a.m.,
Yeah, essentially.
I am dead.
I am dead.
And or having left of the city.
Yeah.
Well.
Well,
No.
no.
she'll show up.
I
yeah.
plan to show up in the morning if
Okay.
I'm alive.
Yeah, probably right. Then in the note that you have intended to show up. If you did not, you are dead.
Yes. Well, not only, yeah, but essentially write something to my mother.
Okay.
Nibs is gonna kind of walk over to Trek and take a load off and just kind of sit down on the ground next to you and go. Since you got your collar off, things have been kind of crazy with us. You made a lot of money working hard, helping a lot of people. And now we're here in this place, and
You're about to die.
he goes, and when we get back, and he kind of looks back at, makes eye contact, and goes, and when we get back, repeats it. He goes, there's a lot of craziness going on with that quest they have for us, but I know you're a druid, but I've never really asked you what sparked in your heart to make you have a love of this stuff. It's like, how did you end up in the place you did?
Well, I found a whole bunch of my dad's stuff. It's pretty simple. I just kind of went with what was already easy to do, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
There was just a bag, and I show you an amulet that I have. It's scratched over. The reading's hard to read. The writing's hard to read. There you go.
Are they in the druid language or something else?
Just Gnomish.
Gnomish. Okay.
Yeah. And it has a name on it. The first name's very hard to read. The second name is a little bit clearer, but you can only see the last part. He said, I didn't know my dad's name. This is his. And that's why I've been calling myself Trey Cotone this whole time. And I don't know if you noticed, but like in the papers that they've had us sign, they somehow know my actual name, Silestone. Again, with people knowing things, that doesn't make sense that they said no.
So do you prefer Trek or Psy?
I don't know yet. You can call me.
Say
It's
check?
the last name. It's either Cotone or Silestone. I don't.
Calstone?
It's fine, whatever. Yeah,
So,
Silestone.
Faust.
Hey, Zach, would he need to roll a history check for that? Or do you think
Can
that
I?
it's unlikely he would know?
Can I? Because
Yes,
I've been
yes.
around.
You're welcome to roll one at disadvantage.
Well, that first one
Fairly low.
is 19.
19.
Because I have a +4 +15, and the second one, 19 was my lowest.
19 was your lowest.
Hey, wow,
Okay.
let's go.
You have no clue what he's talking about. You would have needed an ad 20.
Okay.
Like, the name Silestone is not openly well known, and is also something 500 years ago.
Okay. So a little before his time.
Well, 350, 400 years ago. A little more than.
Okay. So, Silestone. He goes, that's a good name. That's a good name. I'm proud of it.
I think I am. Again, I don't know who he was, but yeah, I'm trying to follow as much as I can what it seems he was like. I really don't know, but yeah, that's why I am. Well, why I do what I do.
Nibs is gonna look at you and go, well, it's good to know where you come from, but it's more important to know who you are. He goes, don't try to live up to expectations. It's good to acknowledge it. Those that have helped you are those that you wish to aspire to. But know your own strengths and lean into them. Not the expectations of others or the expectations you think others have for you. And he's going to pat you on the leg and go, you're more than someone's expectations and the legacy of someone you don't know. You are Trek. And that's fucking good enough. And he's going to
Thanks.
get up, pat you on the leg, and walk over to Nari as she's finishing up the letter.
And as you're walking away, he's gonna call and say, "Hey, Nibs,
Hi?
you're more than a dragon."
You're a friend.
He's gonna nod his head to you. Just kind of dip it and go, thank you. And I'm going to look over at Nate's dragon detector and go, I'm obviously not a dragon. Kind of mutters it under his breath. It's like, and I'm going to walk over to Nari again and look at you and go,
Nari's just gonna
yeah, as you finish up.
be focused.
Well, yeah, as you kind of finish up, he's going to look at you and go, reach up, pat you on the leg, and go, well, Ember, whatever it takes, whatever you need. And then he's going to walk away. And then in Primordial, he's going to say, regardless how this goes tonight, you stay alive. Whatever it takes. And Nibs is done.
Nari's just gonna be really focused on it. She doesn't really. She's a little pissed off with you for your earlier comments, trying to cut her out of her own damn meeting. But also she's realizing that she. I don't know. She really put her party in danger for something that was personal, and she is kind of chastising herself for it.
Does Mikhail have anything he would like to do?
I think he's ready to just kill him, get it over with, and go back to the other plane. He's here because he needs to be here for their mission. But beyond that, he doesn't really care much for this city or this plane. So he's probably just kind of not necessarily anxiously flipping his dagger, but kind of more of just an idling kind of thing. He's just idly waiting for the time to pass to go see this dude, whether we're going to kill him or whoever or whatever happens. So he's just probably sitting over flipping his knife.
Okay.
Can I actually roll an insight into Nibs? Because he keeps like being like super supportive of other people and like, you need to stay alive, but like he doesn't really have a reason to be here necessarily. So I'm wondering if he's planning on like making it back, if that makes sense, because he wants to be freed from all of this.
Okay, go ahead and roll an insight, and then
Wondering how likely he is to I don't know, make like a sacrifice play and not, I don't know. 15.
minor success. So as minor as you want it to be.
Nibs kind of told you before you came here that he will die on his own terms. And he is here for you.
Yep.
He did drop a butt ton of money
Yes.
for IDs
Yes.
to go back and do that. That is what he is passionate about. He wants to do that. But he assumes he will be dead within 5 months.
Okay.
He is not expecting, he's expecting regardless of if you guys do it, he's not going to live up to his end of the bargain. He is not going to be jerked around by their chain, and he assumes he will be dead.
Okay.
So he in his mind, he wants to go out in his own terms and accomplish his goals for the next 6 months.
Okay.
That is where he's at. If for whatever reason the world does not fall apart, well, you guys succeed, the world falls apart, and they actually hold up their end of the bargain, he would be very surprised.
Okay.
His hope is they'll do it for you guys, and he does not want to go back where they can get in his mind again.
Okay.
So there are things that he would love and dreams, but he has come to terms with the fact he is dead in 6 months.
Okay. So as you guys kind of have a somber hour of just prepping yourselves mentally, Petrus kind of begins to round you guys up as it's about 4:15 to 4:30. It's about a 5 to 10 minute walk to get there. Kind of rounds you up and begins making his way down south into the parade grounds to the parade's hold, the place that he was speaking of previously. Kind of takes you down slowly but surely. You guys get to this small building. It's not very large. You would guess it's maybe like 1,200 square feet on the inside. It's not very large for what you would consider to be a business, but it has that large orange brazier out front. Yes, Will.
During my combat training, I was trying to recall everything that I or analysis know about the weaknesses of demons.
Fiends in general, they're not big fans of holy water. Radiant damage generally at least is a guarantee to get through, if not deal them more damage than usual.
Okay.
Dependent.
Fire's useless.
Fire is probably useless due to where you are. Dependent upon the creature, maybe necrotic as well. But that is more.
Just living beings in general.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to. Warden's kind of running through and thinking about all of the spells he has prepared, trying to combat scenario in his head.
You can go ahead and roll a history check if you want.
He's what, a blue?
He's a blue Abishai.
Blue Abishai. So
Can I
I'm
assist?
rolling on.
You could roll for yourself as well.
I'm just curious if I can assist since I'm proficient, but I can roll.
What do I or analysis
you might be
about Blue
just as good,
Abishai?
if not better than he is.
10,000
Guidance.
years of.
Go ahead and add a d4 to it.
Okay, well, hold on.
Yeah, you guys have equivalent history checks, so it matters not.
All right, so
What did you roll?
13.
13.
let's see what 10,000 years of analysis can do. That's 12 plus 1 plus 4. So, 17.
Better than mine.
You know, I would say the only other piece of information you acquire is Abishai are demonic entities created by Tiamat,
Well, I would know
AKA
that due to religion.
the Dragon Queen. And by that, him being a blue one, just thinking of regular blue dragons, he's probably resistant or immune to lightning damage as well.
I would like to refer that to him.
Yeah. I would. Yep.
But other than that, you would not know any weaknesses.
Given of what I saw from him, can I find out what type of mage he is?
Sure. Go ahead and roll an insight.
Fuck. That is a 11.
I would not say that you get that kind of information with an 11.
Warlock. Do you
Yes.
happen to know, for tactical reasons, what type of mage we're dealing with here?
No, all I know is that likely I'll be trying to say what little I can do to counter what he can do.
Do you know what he is capable of?
Probably a lot more than any of us.
Well, okay.
Remember, I had never heard about No Ketharak before meeting you. I may know the city, that doesn't mean I know every dick-ass demon and Afriti in here.
This is where I wish I used divination now. I just asked my deity, hey, does this guy serve another god? Or get his magic from anything other than the arcane.
Well, I mean,
I can't.
you have the slots to do it. It's just
What are my hold on?
your odds.
My odds of success go down by 25%.
Yeah, so you would roll a d4, and on a 1, your divination would fail.
Hold on. What are like my level 4 only spells? Death Ward, Divination, Fabricate, Modifier. Sorry. The only spell that I would think I'd use at 4th level is Death Ward. And I have, what, 4?
You got 3 fourth level
3.
spell slots.
Sorry, 3 4th level spell slots. And I don't know.
We're going to talk, right?
Hmm?
We're going to go talk, but
I do ask the rest of the group. It is bugging me that I cannot seem to decipher what type of mage we're dealing with. How important do you all believe that is?
I think we kind of got the answer to that, big guy. And I pat you on the shoulder. He's a powerful one. More powerful than anything we can do to put him in check. So, we'll be outclassed regardless of what we do. We'll find out if it goes sideways.
I would like to prepare as much as possible and see what the possibilities of things he could throw at us.
Petrus kind of speaks up. Whatever it is, Iron Man, it'll be a lot. I don't know how much, what kind of magic he's throwing at us matters. Most of them cast the same shit anyway.
And that's what it looks like to most. Understood. And yeah, anyways, he decides not to cast divination.
Okay. So, you guys find yourselves outside of the parade's hold. Do you guys wish to go inside? How many are going inside? What
Are we supposed to meet him inside or outside?
You would assume inside.
Well, Drake and I are the only two that would recognize him.
Well, we
Well,
followed him.
Well-
everyone followed him for a long time.
Actually, I guess it's true. Never mind. Unless we don't recognize him and he polymorphed.
It's a restaurant.
It appears to be some kind of rent-a-room cafe, yes.
Ah, rent a room cafe.
Not a brothel.
No, that's not what I meant. I just meant like if he wanted to take us to a private room, he could.
Okay. I think we all walk in and see if he's if they have an appointment for us, or if we're supposed to get the room and he's going to meet us. Just to step in.
I'll have thinking of the tactics that we decided. Drake and I will sit at one table. You guys can sit somewhere else. If
So
maybe-
when I say it's a rent-a-room, there is no public seating in this place.
It's,
so it's kind of a we walk into the front counter and
say we're with so and so's party.
Yeah.
shit, never mind. That's out the window. Never mind. Warden says to the Warlock, Warlock,
Yes, Iron Man?
as we're walking in, anything about this place looked different last time you came here?
Oh yeah, the sun hit it a lot better earlier.
Perfect. And we keep walking. I'm trying to see if he...
Yeah. So who all is going in?
All of us.
Yeah.
Looks like all of us.
So everyone, as you enter in, there is a female of Freety who appears to be a receptionist. Well, hello and welcome to the parade's hold. What can I do for you?
I believe we have a meeting with, and... Oh, God grief. Sorry,
Sir Mr. Kethrak? Master Kethrak?
Oh, Kethrak, most known master of wisdom and slaver of minds. Yes, we have a room established for him with it appears to be +6.
Oh, well, he knew about all of us anyways.
Got it, never mind. Penis, that's the same.
You're like, who's the 6th? Oh, yeah.
No, it was Penis, the 6th.
Penis.
Penis the 6th. 6th of his name.
Well, he's definitely,
At least it's not Penis Junior.
He's senior.
in all
Nice.
regards.
In all regards. Saggy balls. Alright, well, the purveyor of the room is not in yet, but I'm sure he will arrive here soon. So you're welcome to... It's room 4 in the back. You're welcome to step inside whenever you wish, and there will be... There's tea, there's coffee, there's scones, there's a whole bunch of food in there as well.
Who's just gonna look over you and goes, I'm curious to know if these are better scones than... And then I'm just gonna start I'm gonna start an in-depth
too.
I'm gonna just hop from his shoulder down to the ground and start walking, and I'm gonna start an in-depth scone conversation.
Scone conversation?
The difference,
We're gonna debate scones.
about the, it's like,
We'll compare scones.
do you think, are you more about the fluffiness of the texture, or is it more about the flavors? It's like, which is a higher priority for you?
Well, once you hit a certain threshold, the fluffiness doesn't matter much. But you have to hit that threshold.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it doesn't matter at all.
Yes.
Then it's fucking raw.
So we're it's like have you ever had it a bit with the cinnamon and the raisin blend, or do you like more of like the hint of chocolate, or just going for the purest effect on the scones?
Personally, I like blueberry scones.
Oh, fuck me sideways.
Oh my gosh.
Don't say that out loud. That can be arranged.
That can be arranged here real quick.
His tail's gonna kind of kink up a little, but he's gonna just keep going.
Kink?
Yeah. It kind of he goes, oh, I forgot about the blueberries. It's been so long since I've had blueberry scones.
You know, one thing I think would be really funny. You two were talking about that kink test. What if we had D&D players take kink tests for their characters?
Warden's king test is a rock.
Bro, he is the most vanilla guy.
He would literally have zero.
Vanilla's 1000%, everything else is
No,
zero.
vanilla is only like 60%. Like, he's not even sure he wants to even try that.
Yeah.
Well,
Everything else is just zero.
He thinks it'd be really cute if he, like,
Cute.
Can I plug
held
into
hands. No, but that might be pushing it a little too far.
Would you like to hold hands, Warden? Be gone, devil.
alright. Sorry.
I don't think he's
nailed it
quite
on the
so
buttons.
passionate about it, but
It's about 7:50.
Yes.
Alarm's about to go off, so.
Alright, so you guys wait for 5 or 10 minutes until
How's the tea?
the tea's like everything is goated. Like it is all very, very good.
So better scones than where they were.
Oh, much better.
is it
Hell yeah.
goaded with the songs?
It's goated with the swouse, my guy.
Oh,
Do they have the
What does
blueberry
that
scones
mean?
here?
It's a Russian badger reference.
yeah.
What do you say?
Do we have
Russian what?
Russian
blueberry scones
Russian.
here?
Oh, yeah,
Badger
they got
Beauty
everything.
Tour.
Oh, yeah.
So, as your nerves start to loosen a little bit due to the scones, you hear the light footsteps and tapping of a staff on wood. And the door opens up. And standing there is a creepy looking but not really terrifying creature at all. Seeing him much closer than you guys had previously. Ketharak stands at somewhere in between, 5 and 6 feet, somewhere in the middle there. Kind of hunched over with his head down into his chest. Wings kind of flapped to the side. They're old looking, like they're scarred with holes in them. They look like they could still hold weight, but not as well as they could have in the past. His snout reaches out long from his face, about 8 inches forward. Just a massive snout that as he exhales, there's almost static electricity in the air coming from his nose. As he kind of presses his staff down into the wood and kind of strains his back, and you hear a series of cracks go through his spine. And he kind of steps in and moves to the one spare chair at the end and kind of just sits down into the chair.
Nibs will bring over an assortment beautifully arranged of scones. Sets them on the table for him. Yeah.
Kind of
And then
slides it over with a little mage hand.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And he's like, tea? Coffee?
I can procure my own drinks, thank you. It is appreciated.
And it's like, looks over at you and is like, he doesn't say it, but he almost like, well, there goes out the poison. It's kind of the look he gives you. But
Well,
Did you guys actually poison?
no, it was a joke. I don't have any.
Mikhail has plenty.
Yeah, Mikhail has.
Mikhail has hundreds.
I don't know what you're talking about. Meow doesn't have nothing.
He almost says the bad joke, but he doesn't.
At this point, Ketharak kind of takes one of the scones and nibbles on it. Well, I guess I should start by saying welcome to the city of Brass. I assume it's most of y'all's first time here.
How'd you know?
Do they really smell
I'm thinking that, I'm not saying that.
much?
Oh yes, y'all reek. There is such a smell that sulfur and scorched earth provides to a person when you've lived there their entire life.
Fair.
Well, y'all don't seem to be big on frivolities, so what is your purpose here in this city of Brass?
Who's?
We need a soul. We want yours, but that may not be a good option now. So do you want to help us get a different one? Maybe one of your enemies?
Warden pipes in. We obviously don't have any reason to lie. I'm sure you'd be able to detect it anyways. What my friend here is saying is correct. We are currently sole contracted to collect various powerful items, one of which being the soul of a greater demon.
Demon or devil?
Devil, sorry.
Devil.
Devil. Yeah.
I was gonna say, if you're looking for a demon, you've gone to the wrong guy. You okay?
Okay.
Yeah, he's just super.
Yeah. The
We're
soul of
wrapping
a devil. Soul of a greater devil.
For a
Your-
ritual component and a massive spell that will destroy the world, more than likely, or rewrite. It'll shake it to the very foundations of reality.
For the prime material.
Interesting.
Prime material.
Well, I assumed as much, considering all of y'all are naturally from there. Who has conscripted you under this soul contract?
The Titans of old.
Interesting.
I don't know much of formalities. Well, I technically do, being a cleric, but
I was gonna say you. Technically.
it's like forgive the ignorance, the ignoring of formality. But how old are you?
Oh, very, very old.
In
I have
prime
al-
material ages?
Thousands, multiple thousands. I've never had to to go through the reawakening Do you ask him?
He kind of, well, he thinks that through the Rocky Talkie, like, I can't remember what the reawakening is. I'm assuming it has something to do with
dirty 20
devils.
on the history.
No, wait. I'm assuming it has something to do with devils, and then immediately he thinks, wait, isn't that the thing when a devil dies, it like kind of gets like reborn kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay, now he remembers. Okay, cool. The most notable name then that may come to mind is Prometheus.
Prometheus.
We're looking at something of some odd 10,000 years ago in the prime material plane's time.
I believe the technical age on their locking away in the old storm, as if I remember correctly, was about 14,648 years ago. Somewhere around there.
I know I am old. Anyways,
I'm not that old. Do I look that old?
I'm saying I'm old.
He's from
Do I
that
look
time.
that old?
Not quite that old.
Not as old as he does.
How nice.
Definitely.
I'd
not
say
as
about
old.
15 though.
15 years of age?
I think thousands.
Or 1,000? Or 100? Maybe I don't want the answer to that question.
He just kind of shrugs.
He's older than he looks too, but he won't give us a straight answer.
Well, there is no straight answer.
Because he's not straight.
I was gonna make an oblique joke.
Yeah. Either way, Prometheus and the other titans that have been locked away. I don't know if your history of prime material plane. I don't know what history you know of it, but there was.
I would consider myself a bit of a historian myself, so I know some, maybe not as much as those from the prime material plane itself, but when you've spent only a few thousand years in the city of Brass, and then a few thousand before then climbing the ranks of the devilish hordes, it doesn't behoove to read many books, sadly.
So,
The Titans were more to their own demise, locked away in what we call the Fold. It was a Warden gives off the specific names of the exact what the soul bomb, what the little bomb thing was called, and essentially what it did. I partially had a hand in creating it, blah 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 blah. I'm literally just kind of like, they're from, like this is where it happened on the continent, all this different stuff, and anyways, I have personally I have ties with the doctor that created me, and I wish to see this contract through, whether or not my party does as well. Unfortunately, they need a soul of a greater devil. So that is why we were following you, because our friend here happened to know your name.
What is your name?
My name's Nari.
Nari. One of Asat's bastards.
Indeed.
Oh. Sorry, I don't know if bastard is offensive to you. I just have a good mind, some would say.
Some would say.
Some. Many, in fact. He's an interesting man, your father.
Big.
If you say.
Big. Very, very big. He's a large boy. Still young. Well, honestly, I don't even know what I expected to get from this meeting. I just wanted to meet you.
by chance, do you have an enemy that you would prefer us to go
Oh,
after?
I've got enemies, but my enemies are, how should I say it, more than you can handle.
Aye, but not more than you could handle.
If I wanted to conscript you to go kill one of my enemies, they would be significantly more powerful than me. And from what I can sense of your power levels,
Oh, where's shit? Creek?
You're already Schitt's Creek looking at me. And as I said, I haven't gone through the reawakening. I hear it's painful. I hear it's worse the more powerful you are. That just...
So we'd be doing you a favor.
If you succeed. I mean, I haven't gotten in a good scrap for ages. The Illuminated are cunts. They don't let anything happen in this city. I was killing demons, devils, Afriti, and Tao left and right in the Nine Hells.
Whoa.
So you're saying you don't feel like going on an adventure and taking the discomforts of this and getting a new change of pace, but you wouldn't mind squashing us like bugs if we wanted to try?
I'm trying to think. I like where I'm at, but also, it's boring as fuck. Have you ever dealt with a million slaves coming through the city, and you have to deal with their ins and their outs, and coming into the city and coming out, and all of them are stupid as shit?
Nah, just 500 priests.
That might be worse.
I thought so.
That
But
very well
I
could
still
be
wouldn't
worse.
want to trade it with you. It's like, and your hand cramps because I didn't have the magic and I had to write on down all the... And then the laundry.
It is a dull existence once you've killed everything there is to kill, once you've been with anything there is to be with, once you have achieved all success known possible to your kind. Have you ever heard of a blue Abishai before seeing me?
That is a hell no. It was an...
Actually, I'm actually just gonna roll report.
I guess I could have
Yep.
rolled really
Okay. If
I
it was,
would've-
I was gonna say if it was a 2 or 1, then my automated system kicks in. My automated system just starts listing off everything that it knows about
the Blue Abishai.
It's like the Blue Abishai, descendant of, created by Tiamat, descendant of blah 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 blah. It's like the blue scales may refer to much like the likeliness of the blue dragon. And blah blah blah. It just starts keeping going and going.
And I'm gonna
and going
reach up and kind of walk over and pat you on the leg. He goes, but he asked, did you see one before? Not did you know of one?
Analysis pauses.
No.
Negative.
He goes,
Let's just say the Abishai aren't the most popular. There aren't even that many of us nowadays. Tiamat's kind of gone down the hill. Bit of a bitch nowadays, honestly.
Nib is gonna kind of cock an eye.
Why don't we go kill Tiamat?
I have a mini.
He does have it. It's not mini.
It's bigger than my laptop.
It's. I don't have something to show for scale. It is freaking massive.
It's about like this big.
Like its wings go out this far.
His
mini of Tiamat.
Oh, I've seen minis of Tiamat.
Either way, let's finish up. Either way, as I said, I'm bored. I've had anything there is to have in these lives.
So
Now, obviously, not going to make it easy for you. I still have self-preservation, and I honestly want to kill you. But I'm at least willing to give you all the chance. However, this isn't a good setting for a battle.
I agree. Let's move somewhere a little more private.
Like a pocket dimension that you hang out in.
It's not a pocket dimension. I saw your scry on me. You can't scry to other dimensions. It's merely a little pocket I've made for myself here in the elemental plane of fire that I can easily access whenever I wish.
That's more or less of what I thought.
Well, I will give you time if you wish to prepare any more. As I said, no illuminated will interfere. Just me and you. It would almost be an honor to have such a cataclysmic event
Dedicated.
because of my soul.
How's noon sound?
Tomorrow?
Yes.
Oh, did I Did I explain to him that upon of what his soul would be used for is releasing, undoing the spell and essentially releasing the Titans upon
Yeah.
the Prime Material Plane again?
He kind of. You sure you don't want to do it tonight?
I mean, you said you'd give us some time, but if you
I
want to
mean,
do it now,
I'm willing to give you some time, but I mean, I
We
can
still
smell.
do we still have the
I can
bonus?
smell a little something on you that
I don't remember what the
Hero's Feast.
what that'll actually do in combat. I don't.
It's
I
advantage on wisdom saving throws.
Oh
You
shit!
have
Yeah.
You have
Who cares about
immunity
a
to
fourth level spell?
immunity to poison damage. You also have an extra 14 hit points each because of
Yeah,
that spell
let's-
right now.
How does 20 minutes sound?
Which, by the way, did our level up?
Oh, there's 10 hit points. I don't know why.
Okay. It does.
Well, either way, I'm gonna go take a nap. Quick one. And he waves his hand, and a door spirals out, and the wall literally just incinerates there, this side of the wall. And this little spark of flame that starts in the wall just begins to expand and grow. And grow.
Nibs is
Until
quickly
it's
going to run
about the
over and
size of the
start
door.
dumping as many scones as he can up his sleeve into the bag of holding.
Okay.
He goes, "So you're going to take a nap, and how do we get back to you?"
Well, I'm gonna leave the door open, and whenever you come in, I'll wake up.
He's going to stop and go, "Oh, let's order some more scones." Deal. He's like, and if
Might
they
as well die full.
He goes, and if they got some chocolate, hot chocolate, let's try some of that instead of the tea. Agreed.
Okay. So, where we will be starting off next week.
Well, we didn't die this session, which
You guys did
is
not die this session.
better than I expected.
You guys want to...
So he knows that we have Heroes Feast.
You can smell a little something. Let's see, what side? So you guys will be entering in from where Nate's at.
Oh shit, we went all out on this one.
Down on this
Ah,
side.
yeah,
This is the doorway down here. Actually, this is right here. As you can see, there is no wall there.
You got a line of sight? Yeah. Okay.
He has some kind of line of sight. So this is the battle map. As you guys, some of you have heard already, the big rune. This is where the Ring of the Smoldering Chains meets. And there's a lot of fun stuff here. The River of Fire, which won't really affect you guys more than not, considering your immunities and resistances.
I
But-
gotta go, my dude.
Yeah,
Yep.
you're welcome to go. I'm just talking.